Have notice checks, please. Oh, Elspeth doesn't think
either.
her
I've
voice
not
is
heard a
working.
peep from you.
Yeah, I haven't heard a single word peep from you.
Oh, notice right.
Peep, peep, peep.
Well, now I'm hearing peeps from you, but not from Jelsa. Jelsa's peepless.
Jelsa's peepless. My computer.
See, I told you I could go bust for you. There you go.
My computer's playing up. I just only just noticed that Fantasy Grounds wasn't actually displaying.
Displaying. Just noticed so V.
Okay, so Jelspa is not muted. Ooh, what does disable video? Does that mean you could stop someone seeing your stream? Interesting.
Good idea. See you on the flip side.
No worries. So, as you're sort of settling down for camp for the night, Arena doesn't notice anything. Bert does notice, because... Oh, no, Bert doesn't, but Snookums does. As you're sort of sort of looking for a good place to set up camp, you suddenly become aware that there is a very large winged reptile flying overhead.
How high overhead?
How large a reptile?
Above the trees. I was just about to look it up, in fact.
Yeah, but above the trees, it still covers quite a large area.
Yes. Oh, shut up, you smug so-and-so, sir. Let's have a look. RPG systems. Pathfinder. Where's it gone? Oh, she's got. Oh dear. Jelspa's bouncing her entire system. I thought it was quiet for it. I thought that I must admit, if I was you guys, I would have been quite paranoid. When the gnome's that quiet, she's planning something really big.
It's all right. I can get my own back.
Okay. There we are. That's what I was looking for. Hang on a second. I can tell you in a sec. An ominous shadow. Yes, it's sort of skimming low over the treetops. It's blue. It's blue scales catching the setting sun.
Well, we don't see that every day.
And let's see how big it is.
I hope that doesn't mean you're peeking on me, because I'm assuming my missed roll meant I'm going to the toilet.
No, dragon.
What?
Dragon. Big blue bugger.
Size. Oh, it's size 16 feet long. On average, 16 feet long.
Aye, big blue bugger.
Flying its long neck out straight ahead of it. It's two limbs tucked in close to the body, and its long tail with a stinger at the end as it flies away overhead.
Oh no, not dragon. Wyvern.
I didn't think Wyverns flew. That's me, not my character.
Aye.
I said that's me, not my character.
Yeah, Smaug in The Hobbit is a wyvern because it's actually not got four legs.
Ah, for some reason I thought that Wyverns meant they didn't have wings, not four. Excuse my brain today. My brain is completely not working.
Worms with a Y don't have wings in Pathfinder, do they?
That might be it.
Just sent it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
They aren't any.
No, not all dragons have wings. Like Falcor doesn't have wings.
Falcor's an Oriental dragon, isn't he?
He's a luck dragon, but yeah.
Yeah. So the originally gold dragons didn't have wings in Dungeons and Dragons because they were Oriental dragons. They flew, but they didn't have wings. Platinum dragons.
Oh, let's just leave Wyvern to sort itself out, shall we?
Indeed. So, basically, yes, it's a very prudent thing that you just leave it alone, don't make any noise and attract its attention, and avoid the TPK. But anyway, so you set up camp for the night, and the night passes quietly. And in the morning, you continue heading towards the river. Great stuff.
Oh, we've got to search out old Witch's place, haven't we?
Yeah, but you're heading towards the river because that's between you know what I mean? You're doing that, aren't you?
Witch's place is between us and river.
Yes. Can I have some more notice checks for the sake of fun?
Wow. Did something get in my eye?
Probably.
So, Bert, where'd you find such a big pussycat?
Oh, he found me, actually. He was there to help me out in a tough situation.
Like you were being chased by giant mice or something?
No, I was being chased by mad townsfolk.
Wow.
Oh, right. Been there once or twice myself. It's not pleasant, is it?
Well,
Anyway, giant mice are not to be laughed at. They're terrible critters.
You don't want to have any rouse around here, do you?
Big rats. I've seen rats as big as
Rodents of unusual size.
Yeah, that's the one.
rodents of unusual size. Are terrible.
Okay.
I'm not sure they really exist.
Sure they do. They're in the swamps of Despair. Swamps of Despair, that's where they are.
Oh, never been there.
It's near Castleton.
Right, because I can see that you're talking, but I'm not hearing anything.
That's a shame, because that was brilliant.
No. I'm talking to Elspeth.
Oh, that's alright.
Well, it's not all right, but
Well, no, it's not alright. Because I want to hear Elspeth.
Yes.
Not some silly setting that's accidentally got tripped in the wrong direction, like a mute button.
doesn't seem muted at this end. But
No, she's just muted herself and muted her headphones. Now she's unmuted herself and unmuted her headphones. And the little
And
green
it's still not
circles.
making any,
The little green circles there, but
but no noisy bits.
no noisy bits.
Can't hear a thing.
Apparently they're changing the logo on Discord.
yeah,
Apparently it's actually when they originally drew it. Whoa! No! When they originally drew it, it was lopsided or something. Okay, I shall have to. We shall carry on without.
It's not supposed to be symmetrical.
No, we shall carry on without the gnome. I'm afraid. I was deliberately holding off, but yeah. I have to admit, I have to be honest though. Whenever I want to when I never think of the rodents of an unusual size in a mire or a bog. Actually, if I was thinking of a fancy bog, it's always the bog of eternal stench for me.
Yep, that's exactly.
I saw a cosplay from that of
Ludo.
Atreyu with just a horse head covered in mud, and he kept lying on the floor looking tragic.
I will one day.
Yeah, and D&D camps, it's
My
fight D&D camps. The first thing you kill is a rat in every single campaign.
No, that's a standard Sky or Elder Scrolls mission, isn't it? Go and deal with the rats. Which is why they turned it on the head of one of them, didn't
probably.
they? Didn't it? You go somewhere, isn't it one of them where you go in and she's complaining that someone's killed her rats, and you have to go and get the people who killed the rats. Anyway, the sounds of the forest suddenly become suddenly distant as the trees part, opening into a small, almost perfectly circular glade. The nearest stand of pine, elm and darkwood, all typically sturdy woods, twist away from the clearing as if bent by some impossibly strong wind, or perhaps in an attempt to flee despite their paralysed roots. At the glade centre squats an ugly cottage, a little more than a pile of twigs and shoots, and ivy stacked upon mud walls. From the thatched roof dangles bungles of gnarled roots, old dried beast carcasses, and knuckle-bone bangles, all clattering together like some gruesome wind chimes. A dozen small thatched fetishes, each shaped like a tiny man, imp, or a rearing serpent, stand propped in the yard, keeping guard before a rickety plank door.
You know, I swear I thought you said small thatched lettuces then. My brain had very interesting imagery going on.
Well, if that ain't a witch's cottage, I'm not an Arthork. Witch's cottage, not my problem. Sorcerers and wizards to the fore, off you go. I'm staying back here.
Fine. I'll go and check it out.
I'm missing Snookums.
Yeah.
I am missing Snookums. Why is
Somewhere a
Snookums?
wee cottage in the woods.
Why is Snookums not on the tracker of
What?
combatness? There
The
we go.
Snookums is very sneaky.
What did you say, Dodger? Was that you?
You missed what you said, Andra.
Snookum saw that bird thing earlier and was trying to figure out how to catch it. He's just not catching up.
Yes, I must admit, that's one thing I do remember from my childhood. The cat, one of the cats, well, actually, teenage years, actually, we had a cat that would climb to the very top of the plum tree, and you'd see him staring at the planes flying overhead, because we're in between, we're on the approach path for Heathrow here, and you'd see him looking up at the jet planes, and you could see him working out one day.
Oh, at least it wasn't going for passing Withens.
Well, indeed. Elspeth has connected again.
Fix me though.
Yes.
My grandson's sitting here grinning ear to ear. He goes, "What was the problem?" It's I forgot to turn my headset on.
I've done that before.
Reboot twice, and then it's like, oh, maybe the headset needs to be turned on. The mic, because I use the speakers on the monitor.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Made mistakes like that before now.
Yeah. Right, so, I didn't miss much, so. Okay, you have a right.
I mean, you just got it's just a wee cottage in the woods. So.
No, it's
Something-
a
It's
witch.
rustic.
Something's,
It's rustic. Don't
something
worry
has
about it.
definitely happened to the mist.
It hit.
That's interesting. That just, I don't know about you, that seemed to turn it off.
It slowed down. Then it sped up again.
Yeah. There we go. That's what I was trying. It wasn't meant to be going as fast as it was. That's still a bit too fast in my mind. Shouldn't be going that fast. You want it to sort of hang around. There we go. That's better.
Why don't we just politely knock on the door?
Right, well, you do that.
Interesting lighting going on.
I forgot what we want here.
I haven't there isn't any lighting turned on.
Rat's tail something.
I can turn on the lighting and see what happens, but
Well, no, it's just that there was a straight line basically around the hut, straight down, was lit like it was supposed to be, and everything else was kind of grayed out.
It was.
It's not now.
No, that's okay. I don't know. I sometimes the lighting gets a bit funky still, doesn't it? I'm sure they'll get there in the end. I know that.
I take it you're not
Why don't we
accepting.
Yes. Move forward.
I moved again after that. I moved.
What we Are you going to knock the door?
Yeah, the reason I got confused there is because I thought I'd done something, because my map shows you there, but it shows your movement starting from back there.
Well, where you're pointing to is where I see myself right now. That's better. Now I'm actually there.
Yeah.
That is confusing.
So I was very confused. So anyway,
what are these like airplane things that look like planes that have nosed down to the ground?
Funny you should say that.
Bodies.
As you've got closer to it, well, yes, yes. This clearing spans about 40 yards with a dilapidated circular 20-foot wide diameter cottage at its centre. 14 unnerving 3-foot tall scarecrow-like effigies are propped up throughout the glade.
Oh, lovely.
Depends how close you want to get to them. Depends on whether they're problematic or not, I suppose.
Well, I'm stood right next to one. I reckon that's pretty damn close.
Indeed.
Chelsea would have ran up to check one out, going, "What is this? I haven't seen one of these before."
Well, there you go. At least two of us being that stupid.
It's to do with witches. Not going to be good.
They're most definitely unnerving, but they don't appear to be doing anything as you get closer.
Okay.
What are they made out of?
What was that, Elspeth?
I was wondering what they were made out of, because Elsa's going to pick a piece off of this one.
Okay.
They're made out of witchy stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know what they're made out of, to be honest. It doesn't tell me.
She's going to tear like a finger or whatever is protruding off of it and stick it in her pouch because she collects stuff.
I now have a finger.
Indeed.
Okay, I'm going to approach the door of the hut. Is there any sign of life inside? You know, like smoke at the chimney, noises of singing, cats meowing, or anything?
Not that you can tell, no.
Well, you're more patient, so if you knock on the door, you talk to them, because I really can't be asked. I'll just push my way in.
There we go. Sorry, I just needed to move you out the way a second there, because it wouldn't let me do something.
Okay, I'll knock on the door.
You knock upon the door. You are completely unsurprised, I suspect, to hear no response.
Okay, are there any windows?
No. Must be really dark inside.
Well, let's just open the door and go in.
Go on then. I'll stand back and let you do that bit. You seem to the type that's perfectly happy to barge into people's houses, so I'll just let you do that. You're good at it.
That's it. You take charge.
Elsa! Oi, Elsa! Aren't you curious about what's inside? You know, the door could be opening. I'm sure it comes off.
That's absolutely evil. But obviously,
brilliant.
Oh yeah, anyone who's got the curious hindrance should always have the rest of the party doing that to them, in my opinion.
It's like the door locked.
The
You
door.
haven't tried it yet?
Yeah, if you attempt to open the door, you find it doesn't want to shift. You will have to make a strength roll to force the door open. Because as you approach the door, sorry, I apologise. I should have said, Arena, as you approach the door and knocked on it, you notice that the mouldering door has rotted off its hinges, but still appears to be upright and blocking entry to within.
Impressive. Okay.
Hence the fact it won't easily open. Well, you need to make a strength check to force it open.
If there finds a folded sheet in there, you'll know she's a powerful witch.
That one just sailed over me.
Tavis has always been convinced if you can fold a fitted sheet neatly, you're a witch.
Oh, okay. Are you a witch then?
Yes.
Fair enough.
Well, maybe Rannick.
Oh, a fitted sheet. Yes, I agree. That will be witchcraft.
That wants me to come and knock down a witch's door.
Yeah, just kick the door in. I think it's just warped. Don't think it's locked. It just don't fit right.
Is that like an order in that?
Oh, I just don't know how to open the door.
Look,
not an order. It's a very strong request.
I need a big fellow to run through the door.
Hey, no, nobody said anything about running through doors. I'll knock door down. I'm not running through anything.
If you can just get it open wide enough for me to squeeze through, that would even work.
All right, well, let me take a look at it then.
Give it a boot.
I'm being jail.
I don't think I can boot it open. I don't.
Well, like I said, it's a strength check to open it.
Right, you said it's off the hinges and it's mouldering, yes?
Yes.
I don't want to knock it in. I want to get my fingers around the edge and pry it out, if that's possible.
Strength check.
Okay.
There's enough room for 2 people to try and pull the door open. However, we do not need it, for Rannick is mighty and strong and pulls the door open. Inside the dark cottage reeks of foul odours, while shadows make it difficult to see the details. Haphazardly hung shelves.
Dondrad, was that you? Oh!
Haphazardly hung shelves line the walls, covered in manner of all clay jugs, clouded bottles, strangely cut rocks, rotted bunches of herbs, and a museum of other crude curios and remnants of the bone grinder's artifice.
Right, it's empty, so she might be coming back later, I'd imagine. What are we looking for anyway?
Kind of lizard tail.
No, it was definitely rat. I can't remember. Was it a pickled rat's tail or was it a rat tail root like from underground?
Irina, get in here and have a look through these shelves, because I do the alcohol.
You know what? GM, my real life brain is absolutely buggered. It's on D4-2 today, so I'm going to roll my character's smart skill because I haven't got any. See if I can remember.
Looking for a rat's tail, which is a herb. It's called rat's tail, but it's a herb because it looks like a rat's tail.
Okay, I like the sound of that. You sound like you know what you're talking about. I'll go with it. I'll look around for such thing.
Right.
Yeah, so it's got
Okay.
a chair, potions.
Jelsa got the Joker. Okay, as Arena, as you start moving into the cottage, the rusted iron cauldron that's been sitting in the middle of the floor.
Ulcie Mills is, hers.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Ulcie Mill does.
It's a rusted iron cauldron with a mouth nearly 6 feet wide and a depth of at least 3 feet. It dominates the hut's single room.
Just large enough for cooking people. Lovely.
Indeed. It suddenly basically stands up and charges towards you.
Oh, mimic.
Anyway.
Fine.
Jelsa gets to go first, though, fortunately, because she got the Joker.
Whoa! Oh, cauldron moving.
So I can see
animated doodah.
I can see the pot charge.
Yep, the cauldron literally's just stood up on its legs and it's going straight for Arena.
I'm going to cast Firefly Protectors on Dondrad, Irina, and myself since we're right up front.
Go for it.
Oh, that's a success.
That is a success on a 2. Who were you casting it on? You're casting it on yourself. Dondrad, you said. And Irina. And you were casting Firefly Protectors. Oh, come on, open up. There we go. Are you going for toughness? You need the raise for armor, don't? Sorry, you need the raise for toughness, don't you? It's just armor. If you don't get the raise.
Plus 2 on.
Yeah. There we go.
And then I'm going to run in there because, she's not smart to assist her, but I've already done my stage.
Oh. Okay. Actually, I just noticed something I forgot to do, but given that you're a gnome, You're too excited to notice up until this point. Okay. Actually, because you had the Joker, I'm going to say that kicks off. So suddenly, as Jelsa enters, casts magic in there and enters the cottage, suddenly things happen. 2 major enchantments seem to activate automatically. So first things first, I need to find some powers. Something's definitely gone and cleared up all my
What did you do, Jay?
I was helping.
Okay, so speed sloth. So sloth lessons. It halves the total movement each round. Round up with a raise. It's also an action. The target can automatically attempt to shake it off at the end of their next turn. So it's you're automatically affected as you're all hit by the sloth power, which halves your movement automatically. Okay, and then the second effect kicks in, and that sense of overwhelming dread and horror fills the 3 of you inside the cottage. You all get to make fear checks, which is spirit, please. Jelsa's not affected. Arena's not affected. Dundrad.
Spirit roll.
Yes, for fear, please. So if you've got guts or anything like that, you can add it. But none of you are affected by the fear, so that's all well and good. It's really rather nasty, that one, isn't it? It hits you with fear and then halves your movement. Okay, Rannick, over to you.
So this this cauldron,
Yes.
does it have like animated legs that it's like clanking around on or what have you?
Yes.
Okay, I will step to there.
God, what a waste of pennies.
Because it's witchy stuff and I don't want to go in there. But I will hit it with my... Oh, I'll miss it with my bowlers.
You'll miss it with
Go on,
your
I'll spend a
bowlers.
penny. I've got plenty of pennies. I'll give it one more. No, I'll miss it with my bowlers.
Yeah, it's more a case of it. You hit it, but it doesn't. It doesn't wrap round. It's so wide, it doesn't wrap round its legs in any effective way.
Yeah.
Snookums. Why is Snookums? Snookums is going on his own card. That's a bit cheeky of Snookums. Sod it. Snookums is going next. Snookums is going on his own card. I'm not going to worry about that. I don't know why Snookums is going on his own card, but he is.
Because he's kind of like that. Let me see. How fast is Snookums? He's got a pace of 8. So we can get in there and help out. So Snookums is going to run up here next to Jelly and take a swipe at the cauldron.
Okay, I shall target the cauldron for Snookums. Snookums is now targeting the cauldron.
Ooh. Bugger knows how to fight, doesn't it? Okay, that is Snookums' turn.
Okay. Okay, that's interesting. That brings us to Arena.
Was the laugh a yes or no, or or don't be silly?
Oh, I quite like the idea of that one. Make a quick notice check to see if you can spot one. Unless you can actually see one on the map, in which case no problem at all. I
can't recognise anything. There's lots of bits there. No.
You definitely find You find something, you find what you're looking for, so you grab a black kettle if you want to hit the cauldron with a black kettle.
I do want to hit the cauldron with a black kettle.
Be my guest. I'm worried that
it seems nicely ironic, so yeah. I'm going to do that. I'm going to assume that such a thing would be over here by the fire.
Okay.
So I will move to there, grab it, spin round, and hit it. I don't expect it to have much effect, but I find it funny, so I'm doing it anyway.
Okay, go for it.
I'll just use fighting as I don't have weapon black kettle.
It's got a parry of 7, so your 4 misses. But
okay.
But actually, I quite like. Actual fact, no, I quite like the idea that it was a test on the kettle. So I'm afraid the cauldron was not distracted by you hitting it with a black kettle.
Okay.
I don't think Amber wants to go in there, but it's up to you. What's your fox going to do? I suspect if he's got any sense, he'll stay well clear. But if he might not, it's your fox after all.
Yeah, he's having the sense to stay outside and not get any involvement.
Okay, let's move it on to Bert.
Bert is going to try to shoot the cauldron.
Go for it. Two will miss.
Yeah, couldn't Benny that.
It's targeted now, at least.
That's still going to miss. Oops, forgot to spend the Benny.
That's a very interesting question. So, carry on.
No, it's all good. Okay, Bert is going to curse his inability to affect the thing and end his turn.
One, two, three, four. No, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bert. Oh, bummer.
I had to attack it.
Okay, we're going to have to cast.
I've just realised we actually haven't heard a word from Goodfella. He said something earlier, but that was about it. Yeah, go for it.
He said pit.
Yeah.
I would peep peep.
That's it. No, you've been quite
I heard you peeping.
Yeah, we heard you peeping. That was it. You seem to be.
Well, it's hard to get a word in edgewise when you guys are all jazzed up, man. You're a bunch of chatterboxes.
I know what you mean. They are, aren't they? Let's unlock. No, that's not that. That's not what I want. I want to unlock Snap to Grid, which is separate. Oh well. Okay, someone's been. Okay, good fella, it's over to you, sir.
Sorry, I forgot, and I'll move there.
Okay. You can.
Are these that look like crucified people surrounding this building? Is that anything?
They're 3-foot high scarecrows, apparently.
May I investigate one?
You certainly can, but Jelson sort of already poked at one and took bits out of it. It just appears to be a 3-foot tall scarecrow. Why it's dotted around is probably part of that headology, which is like. It looks spooky.
Yeah, I'm gonna start collecting them all and put them in a pile to burn them.
Okie doke. Yeah, yank that one out of the ground and pop it down. You can certainly collect all the others to put them in a pile to burn them. Okay, the cauldron.
Hey, you guys, I say, guys, better watch out. This could be bad hoodoo.
The cauldron.
You do.
Do what?
Remind me of the bay.
Okay, so the cauldron bites, and I do mean bites, Irina.
Sorry, who do the voodoo?
You do.
Remind me of the babe.
What bay?
The babe with the power.
What power?
Power of voodoo.
Who do?
You do.
I do what?
Okay, you are
You guys
bitten.
elaborate.
Okay, Irina, you're bitten by the cauldron, which shakes you. You need to make an evasion roll, please, which is an agility check at -2.
Just making a
You
pour
need
myself a
agility
glass of cider roll, but I'll come back with that.
Agility at -2.
Sorry.
1, 2. Agility. That did nothing. Try it again. That seems good.
That's very good. That's a very good roll. You are not swallowed whole.
Good.
Okay. And okay, I forgot to do that, so I'm going to do it now. Even though it means it gets an extra wild die, but if the wild die wins, I shall ignore it. It will then attempt to bite. Dondrad missing. New round. I should have. I wonder if hang on. I should be able to change that. If I open up its character sheet, go to combat, because I do need to change that in the rules, because it always makes frenzied attacks. Okay, so as it stands at the moment, Rannick's going first on the Ace of Clubs.
Before I go first, everybody that was in the hut should have made a spirit check at the end of their turn to shake off the sloth.
Yeah, but they'd all gone before I hit them with it.
No, you hit them with the sloth, and then we did the turn.
I don't care. They haven't moved back, so it doesn't matter. I will remember this turn, though.
Okay. Rannick, not really wanting to fight something inside a witch's hut, is going to go in, try and grab the cauldron and drag it out into the open where it's easier to fight. So is that going to be a grapple?
Yeah.
And grappling a cauldron does seem like a strange thing to do, but I'll try it.
Can try anything once.
Twice if I like it.
I think it's trying to grapple you. What if you'll get swallowed?
We'll find out. I don't think it's a problem if it swallows Rannick. It'll get indigestion.
I don't know. Look, you've got it by the handle.
It's a sprightly little cauldron, except it's not little.
Damn you!
It's a heavy cauldron.
It's very heavy.
You had it by the handle.
I mean,
I will throw a penny at that.
Actually, it's 6 feet wide. I mean, actually, what size is it? It's human size, so you can grapple it.
Well, we're 6 feet tall. Its dimensions are just reversed.
Exactly.
Now the re-roll, unfortunately, I rolled less than the 11 because its original 11 should stand, shouldn't it?
Interesting. That didn't work.
It twerked. The cauldron's twerking.
Oh yes, it doesn't get to re-roll just because you re-roll, does it? No.
No.
No, so its 11 still applies.
In which case, I'm not going to back off. I will stay there and end my turn.
Okie dokie. That brings us to Jelsa Sparkle Tips.
Said there were all kinds of bottle stuff along on this shelf.
Oh, 100. Yeah, as you can see, it's a cornucopia of experiences.
Well, I'm just going to grab one that looks particularly foul and throw it into the pot. That's all I need.
No.
Can't do anything else to make it fit.
So that would be athletics for throwing it in and getting it inside. I'll let you decide what was in the bag, because I'm just grabbing something random. No idea what they are. I didn't have me targeted.
That's okay. I'm just checking something.
Did you just put broken glass in the thing that's trying to swallow me?
I just I dumped a bottle. I threw a bottle of whatever, one of these random potions that she has laying around here, into her cauldron.
Okay, well, I think it will just land in there and smash. So yes, indeed, that will add broken glass to the fun and games of anyone who gets swallowed by it. Please make a spirit check.
Definitely try to swallow my butt.
5. You shake off the sloth enchantment. Okay, the cauldron gets to go next. So I think what we should have the cauldron do is it is going to target. It's going to target Brannick. And it's going to target Jelsa. It's going to go for both of you. As it literally just rolls up, comes sort of barreling over towards both of you, makes a frenzied biting attack, which Vanik avoids, but does manage to get a bite on Jelsa, who is shaken. Actually, if you're shaken, can you evade? I know, thinking about it, you probably can't, can you?
I think. I'm not sure. Let's have a look.
In which case, Irida should have been swallowed last round, you see, so...
Nothing under evasion says you can't when you're shaken, but let's have a look under shaken.
If you think that's the case, I'll just chuck you a Benny and I would have unshook.
Yeah, which is exactly the point. Yeah, good point. So it doesn't matter.
I don't think it makes a difference.
I don't think it makes any difference thinking about it. Yeah, because you're quite correct. You would just spend a Benny to unshake immediately, wouldn't you? So I will say you can evade.
You can still defend or move.
Yes. So Jelsa, I'm afraid you need to make an evasion roll or be swallowed whole by the cauldron.
How do I do an evasion?
And that's agility at -2, an evasion roll.
Looks like an area attack.
No, it just makes a frenzied attack. Oh no!
No, I've got bennies.
It's actually got rules on how many people it can swallow depending on their size. Okay, Jelsa.
Jelsa's like 3 foot tall. They could probably swallow 8 of me.
The cauldron can hold 1 size 1 or size 0, 2 size -1 creatures, 4 small, 8 very small, or 32 tidies. But anyway, Jelsa evades the cauldron attempting to swallow her. That brings us to Snookums.
Yeah, Snookums is going to try and swipe at it again.
Okie dokie. I've just noticed something really scary about this cauldron.
Apart from the fact that it's a cauldron to know eat people?
Yeah, exactly. It gets worse.
Yikes.
I don't think I missed it yet, so it doesn't matter. Thank you.
Don't tell me damage that dice don't ace.
No, that would
Maybe it's hardy.
It doesn't matter.
All normal attacks.
Okay, Snookums has shaken the cauldron.
Good kitty.
Dondrad.
Tell you, if it eats either the cat or the fox, then I'm going postal on it.
Righty ho, the spell has been cast, so let's do the smiting.
Smite.
Okay, Dondrad hits the cauldron. Dondrad shakes the cauldron, don't you? Yes. So what
Already shaken.
Yes, so I'm going to spend a penny to unshake it. So then you just shake it.
And I'm going to penny the damage. Who am I get? I'm not going to 6, no 7. Oh. Leave it shaken.
Well, yeah, I mean, it cost me a penny, but it didn't take a
Good
wound,
fella.
it is still shaken.
Yeah. Still with the GM pennies worth it.
It's over to you,
My
Mr.
name?
Okay, so you've dismantled. You can hear sounds of crashing and banging and shouting coming from inside the cottage. In the meantime, you have upended one of the scarecrows.
I would continue with my upending path, but I'm going to go around the other side of the hut than everyone else did.
Be my guest. Your next one's there. But you You get to that scarecrow. Get to that scarecrow up there, bypassing the one that's hiding under this tree there. Yank the scarecrow out of the ground.
No, I want to get the one. I want to get that one. I would have got that one. I would have seen it. I didn't see it.
Well, as your fate, you got enough movement to get to that scarecrow, yank it out of the ground, and head back to there and dump it on top of the other scarecrow.
I do that.
Sounds good to me. That brings us to Arena, who automatically unshakes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Aside from little pots of stuff,
Yes.
the cauldron and us, what's in here?
Okay, well, it's
There's a
the
big chair.
cottage, haphazardly shown shelves, covered in all manners of clay plots, clouded bottles, strangely cut rocks, rotted bunches of herbs, and other crude curios and remnants of a bone grinder's artifice. So basically, everything you can imagine in a witch's cottage. Across from the door, against the far wall, stands a high-backed chair made of wicker. The gigantic curved tusks of some monstrous beast and thousands of human teeth. In the chair sits what looks like a corpse wrapped in filthy burial linen. So that's an impressive thing I should have noted sooner. Its form padded with pungent herbs and sprouting patches of thick white mould. The ominous shape is only... well... the first time you see it as you get over there, I'm going to say, because it's so dark and you were so busy contemplating on everything else, that's what you see. So, yeah. So, other than the pots, pans, unguents, rotting herbs, bottles, this, that, and the other, there is a chair that seems to be made of tusks and human teeth, and there seems to be someone sitting in it. Well, what looks like a corpse sitting in it.
Dead someone. A multi-dead someone.
It looks like a corpse, anyway, wrapped in burial linen.
Okay, pick it up and throw it in the cauldron.
What, the corpse?
Yes.
Can't swallow anyone if it's already full.
That's what I'm going with. I want to feed it so it can't eat us.
Okay, as you head over to the corpse, you basically grab at it, and it sort of starts. It collapses away into a pile of where is it? Bundle of branches, mud, and linen. So unfortunately, as you attempt to pick it up, it sort of just collapses in on itself, leaving just a pile of stuff. But you can still throw it in if you want.
In this building is anything like it seems. I guess that's my action then.
Sorry, it was a good idea.
I feel like I've fallen down a rabbit hole.
Well, exactly. It was a good idea. Unfortunately, and it would have worked if it was a human corpse. Unfortunately, it wasn't. I tell you what, this witch is definitely studying up on her headology, that's for sure. But...
Too right.
Try to shoot cauldron again.
Go for it. Bert has still got Liz Miller's cauldron targeted. And you hit the cauldron! It would have been dramatically appropriate had you missed. Oh, you're going to wound the cauldron? I don't want you wounding the cauldron. I'm going to spend one of the cauldron's bennies on it.
Cauldron has bennies? The cauldron is a wild card?
Careful where they're shooting, Bert.
The arrow hits the cauldron but fails to do any significant damage. However, you do get the sense that the cauldron glares at you because you have in fact scratched it with that arrow.
Bert will put his thumb to his nose, wiggle his fingers, and grin.
I have just decided at this moment the cauldron is basically a cousin of the luggage. But you get to go first again.
We're in trouble if that's the case.
Actually, the luggage came about because
I'm
of
going
Dungeons.
first. I am hesitant, guys. Let me just point that out to you. I am burning up a bunch of aces on this.
Well, I was hoping this would count as forest, but apparently it's too clearingy for me to get my bonus.
Well, I'm in two minds. My actual argument on that case would have been probably the clearing, yes, but inside the cottage, no.
Fair enough.
Oh, ow! What? Not having that. I'm going to have to spend more bennies on that.
Yeah, not only did it show you 2 fingers, but you did the same hand.
Okay, I'm afraid, but that looked like a much better shot. It's a bigger gouge on the cauldron's lid, on the side of the cauldron now.
Ooh. I've just had an idea.
And what be that idea?
I spot a pot of salt and a jug of water. I combine them and chuck it over it. Rust the bastard. It'll take a long time, but it might not like it.
I will take that as a test. Yes, go for it. We'll make that an athletics test.
Athletics test.
Not pepper to make it sneeze.
No. I'm not going to just have that as a result when I've spent a penny in getting the ingredients. That's more like it. That's definitely more like it.
Okay. You basically do this. Are you intending to make the cauldron distracted or vulnerable by making it worry about rust?
Vulnerable, I think.
Okay, you basically have caused vulnerability upon the cauldron with your clever use of salt and water. Nice. That brings us to Goodfella. You'll have to run if you want to get that scarecrow and get it back to the pile.
Sure.
Okay, well, yeah, look at that. 5 inches there and 10 to get back. So you run over, yank that one out and add it back to the pile of of thingies. Yes, I didn't notice that. Got very confused.
Can I start a fire?
You can start a fire, of course, yeah, by all means. That was a free Benny for the cauldron. Okay, I am going to...
You just Benny for a joker there.
I just Bennied for a joker. Bennied for a joker. Well, I mean, basically the cauldron's very angry, so I'm afraid it's going to make a frenzied attack on Jelsa and Arena. I do believe Jelsa... Aurelia, sorry, you get to make a spirit check as well to see if you get rid of your sloth.
What check, sorry?
Spirit.
Spirit.
To shake off the sloth hindrance. No, that's absolutely fine. Right. Okay, so the cauldron's very angry and it's going to bite. It's going to bite Jelsa and Arena. Well, that looks like a hit upon both of you, both with raises, I'm afraid. Okay, so the cauldron bites. I don't know who's going to do first. Arena, shaking Arena. And then
I'll take shaking.
And then it bites Jelsa. Causing a wound upon Jelsa.
It's only shaking me.
The last time it shook, you had to evade being swallowed whole, didn't you?
Indeed.
Yes. Oh,
well, you will do in a minute. Okay, so both of you now get to make evasion rolls, which is agility at -2, or be swallowed whole. Okay, Arena avoids being swallowed, and Jelsa avoids being swallowed. Rannick.
There's a lot of slippery.
Back to you, Rannick.
Okay. Rannick is going to have to draw his sword.
Mm-hmm.
And actually no, Rannick is going to. I'm going to grapple it again. I would like to use my shield because my shield should be big enough to cover its mouth. So I'm going to try and grapple it and slam my shield down over it so it can't swallow anyone.
Give it a try.
That'll be a no then.
That'll be a no. Goodfella. That brings us down to has collected the third. Goodfella has collected the third skeleton. Scarecrow.
Scarecrow.
And has started a fire. So that brings us to Dondrad.
Dondrad is going to target me. Going to target Evina. Target Jelsa. Target Snookums. Target. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bummer! 1 point short.
You have to spend the Benny before you cast to give you the power points.
1 point short. Yeah, so he's going to cast Bless.
Go for it.
Above. To stop them being swallowed.
Bless.
So, yeah, they get deflect on.
Are you going for attack deflection, I assume? Because it's
because you only melee, so it's attack minus. Sorry, it's fighting -2, isn't it?
It is. It doesn't matter. I did attack by mistake. It should have been fighting -2, but given the cauldron bloody, it won't matter. So it's okay. I gave you the raise rather than the fighting. Yeah, I gave you the wrong one, but it doesn't matter for this one.
Doesn't matter, right? So we move on, and I do horrible maths.
Snookums.
Snookums is going to swipe at this thing again. Snookums is actually going to wild attack against this thing. He's going to leap up there and do all of his claws.
Okay. Snookums is wildly attacking. Oh, you're pouncing. Oh, you can't.
Yeah.
Do you have to move to pounce though?
Yeah. All I have to do is where'd it go? Pounce. If it makes a wild attack, it adds +4 to damage instead of +2.
Brilliant. That's absolutely fine. So that would be a wild attack. Go for it. You hit with a raise. That put that extra +2 in the damage.
Oh, I forgot to.
That's okay. I'll add 2 on to the damage. Okay, you wound the cauldron with that extra +2 from the pounce. Okay, well, that's annoying, isn't it? I'm going to have to spend his luck.
Hooks his paws into the lip and then uses his hind legs and just goes scratch, and then jumps back off of it.
Sounds good to me. I had to spend the cauldron's last Benny to negate that damage. Oh, dear me. But it did get... Oh, hang on. No, I don't. It has one left, didn't it? Because when it gets a Joker, it gets a Benny, and so does the GM. So it's got one Benny left because it got the Joker. So I'm afraid it's got one. It gained a Benny this round, but you have reduced it to its last Benny. Jelsa.
Jelsa's going to scramble up onto the tabletop, knocking everything off as she goes.
Okay.
And I'll spend the extra power point.
This thing's lasting longer than what's his face did. Actually, no, he isn't. The other guy had Indomitable. Grey Pelt, yes.
This thing keeps trying to bite me.
It does. It's been trying to swallow you whole. Now, see, this is where you want to be able to... Well, actual fact, if I wanted to be really, really evil about this, I would actually say that's the area affected by a cone attack.
Well, I'm hoping.
Well, I spent the extra point anyway.
For selective, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But if I wanted to be really evil, that would sort of recreate the effect of it bouncing off the wall and coming back, wouldn't it? First edition AD&D. Once you actually worked out the area of effect of a fireball, you couldn't cast.
I don't know. First she makes Donrad Glitterbeard, and now she makes Donrad Smolderbeard.
Nah, she did selective, so only affects the cauldron. But yeah, high enough level wizard cast fireball in first edition AD&D. The whole dungeon is fireball. It's ridiculous. Okay. I think I'm going to spend a penny on the cauldron to get it up to second place. But Arena gets to go first and removes her being shaken. She is still suffering half movement. Not that it really matters too much in here.
Okay. Right.
But the cauldron's shaking, which is something, even though it's up first. Well, after Arena.
I am growing some. And this thing's a right tumble down hut, so there's bits of mold or roots or whatever, or branches protruding through it anyway. So they're going to grow towards the cauldron and entangle it and make it so it can't move.
Okay, well, with your Joker bonus, you have successfully entangled the cauldron, which is quite annoying.
Indeed.
Toughness 8. Okay. Mind you, it's not going to try biting through him. It will just use strength to escape. And Amber's staying put, I assume.
Yes,
Okay.
I was just adjusting my PowerPoints.
That's absolutely fine. And a spirit check to attempt to remove
spirit
the
check,
sloth.
sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
I shall do that.
You are finally free of the sloth curse. Okay, well, the cauldron has unshaken. It can still. It can. Yeah, you have to be bound, don't you, to basically be limited in actions. It was just.
Yeah, it can act at -2.
Yeah. Okay, it's really targeting who it really wants to bite right now, and bites away. But the deflections on you both means that Irina and Rannick are unaffected by the cauldron's attacks. That brings us to Snookums.
Snookums will go ahead and wild attack again.
Be my guest. Snookums has hit the cauldron. Do you know, no one's missed the cauldron yet because you gang up so good.
I got to do the wild. Would that have been a hit with the raise?
No, I turned on wild attack.
Oh, did you? Okay. Oh,
So-
I see it now.
Yeah. Don't forget to add +2 before you roll the damage, though. Doesn't matter if you don't. You just have to tell me if you forget. You shake the cauldron.
Way to go, Snooky.
Right. If Irina's entangle will allow and can move with me, Rannick wants to grab the cauldron by the leg and drag it out where there's going to be more space to fight it. And this time I will add my gang-up bonus to my athletics roll for grappling it.
I must admit, to be honest, you're better off probably hitting it in here rather than outside, but only because everyone's in here ganging up on it. But yeah.
Yeah, but Rannick is conscious that things are going to start to get broken in here, and without the right route, we're going to not be able to save people.
That's absolutely fine. The only issue I would say is because of the trapping that Irina said, you would probably be breaking it free of its entanglement to move it. Because entangle is very much about keeping something in place, isn't it?
Fair enough, but I'll be grappling it anyway, so it'll just be re-entangled somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm then going to move
You do count as one
out here,
chain.
dragging it with me.
Okay, now how big is it? Does it tell me how heavy the bugger is? Because I suspect. Don't forget you're encumbered.
I'm not actually, because I dropped my backpack as an action before I came into the
Okay, that's
into
absolutely.
the hovel.
That's fine. I'll take that one back. I just noticed it earlier when you were shooting.
Yeah.
To cauldron. From there's nothing based on the weight of it. So you drag the cauldron outside with you. It really is annoyed now.
So I need to be made vulnerable.
You are.
While I am, thank you.
Which has no countdown. It stays vulnerable until you stop grappling it. Okay, well
Shall I stop?
Yeah. Okay, so the cauldron. Yannick drags the cauldron from outside to the outside of the hut. Jocelyn, what do you want to do?
I'm gonna run over to the door. Well, we're not done yet, and I'm not seeing the cauldron. Oh, there it is. So I'm gonna repeat.
Okay, go for it. You may need to spend a penny before you can cast. Okay, unless you're doing you're doing burst, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, which basically means
And I spent the points for so.
Well, you haven't got the PowerPoints.
Oh, but it's because I already subtracted them. I subtracted.
Oh, I apologise. I do apologise.
And I'm going to spend a penny and try that again.
Okay. I do apologise. Funny you should say that about the Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
The local theories about this witch. The witch is so basically this cottage was home to the witch Ulismalia, a wise woman and practitioner of the old ways and local boogeyman. Some said she was a monstrous hag and great-great-granddaughter of Baba Yaga herself. But anyway, there we go.
Ooh.
Baba Yaga.
That's what. So I just find that very amusing. Who did post that actually? Dondrad did. Have to give him a
Well, if the cauldron was made of gold, we'd all be rich, but not.
Okay, so you unfortunately your fireworks don't hurt the cauldron, I'm afraid. Dondrad.
Well, okay, this sloth thing, is it not gone? Is it still on?
I think everyone who was slothed is de-slothed.
Well, I'm very much slothed.
Oh, sorry, you should have been making spirit checks every round.
I know about it, but...
Okay, so that would have been... we're on combat round 4, so you get 2 more rolls. We'll just retcon it now. So yeah, the sloth has gone for you.
Right, still going to have to run. I'm only a dwarf.
I know, but at least now you might reach it.
God, my pace is still 3. What the frig?
You're probably encumbered with all the treasure you carry.
Oh, yeah, well, it's shiny.
Rannick is encumbered by £2.5 because of treasure. That's why after I used my bowlers, I dropped my backpack, so that wasn't encumbered for the fight.
Total movement 1 inch.
I know. I forgot to press 4 inches. I forgot to press the run die. But yeah, 4 inches with my run. I will run to there. Okay.
Dondrad basically starts pounding and moving very slowly towards the door. I'm not pressing enter. I will not press enter.
So I will run there and I will try and shoot. What end do you hold of this thing, Majig? I don't really like bows and stuff. Oh, well, Christ, I nearly shot Rannick.
You miss.
Watch it, Stunty.
Bert. Tough little thing, this cauldron. It's not little, actually.
Okay,
6
Bert
feet
is
wide,
going
3 feet.
to
3 feet tall and 6 feet
Bird is
wide.
going to drop his bow and step up and chop at this thing.
Okay. Oh! You missed.
Yeah, organic bonus.
Yeah, I'll let that happen.
Okay. In that case, the cauldron gets to counterattack you.
Shaking it doesn't, and I've got it entangled.
Still gets to counterattack.
Not while shaken.
It's not shaken.
He spent the belly to unshake.
Not shaking.
Ah.
You just bennied. You cost him a benny though.
Oh! Everything exploded there on that attack. Look at that. Amazing to hit roll. Absolutely nothing on the attack.
It's all right, Bert. I'm holding it back.
Okay. Good fella. I think you've dealt with 1, 2. You've done that one. You've done that one. So I suppose if right. To your right of you, while you're making a fire, this basically Rannick's come outside dragging a cauldron that appears to be trying to eat people. What do you do? You've gone very quiet. If hello, Mr. Goodfella. Hello, Mr. Goodfella.
I'm sorry, I was thinking about this stuff. So I burn these 3, right?
Yes, but now basically Rannick's pulled a cauldron outside and it's trying to eat them. To your right.
All right, I'm gonna tangle it up in my net.
Go for it. You might want to get a bit closer. Probably there if you're going to throw net. Otherwise, you're too close. But that's fine. Go for it.
With my years of experience being a cauldron subduer.
Go for it. Throw your weighted net at the cauldron. That, I don't know why that net is not registering hits. But anyway, a 5 will hit it. So that means the cauldron is now bound because it's entangled twice.
Oh, that's handy. Now that you've done that, I've got a cunning plan.
Well, it's only bound as long as you hold on to it and the net's holding on to it, isn't
it?
it?
I'm aware of that, yes.
Yeah.
But I've got a cunning plan now.
Okay.
All right, so I dig in.
You dig in. Yeah, you're just... Yep, no problem at all. You have got your whole... Yeah, You've got the cauldron where you want it, by the look of things. Dondrad is going first.
Dondrad going first. I can run 2 melee range. Right, hold the bugger down.
We're doing his best.
Dondrad hits the cauldron with a raise.
Oh, none of the aces.
You shake the cauldron. Oh, he's bennying that.
Oh no, I'm going to hammer that thing flat.
Okay, I'm spending its last benny. It takes a wound. 1 wound is taken. Oh, 2 wounds are taken on the cauldron. Hang on. Oh, because it's bound, so it basically... Hang on. Bound and entangled. Well, shouldn't be both.
It can't get out of the way of the blow, can it?
No. No, I don't have it. When I think about it, it wasn't that. It was like, why was it at -4? It's because I had it bound and entangled. It should be -2, not -4. That was my confusion. Okay, Dondrad bashes it, causing a huge dent to appear in the side of the cauldron.
You guys are leaving me out of all the fun, so she's going to run up and squeeze past the fox. And she's going to swing at it. Because everybody else is slashing at a sword, which seems silly at a cauldron. But hey, if everybody else is doing it.
Donrad uses a hammer.
I've not hit it with anything except a kettle.
No, which was very amusing. Yeah, the salt water did distract it. Well, I made it vulnerable anyway. You hit the bound up cauldron. You scratch at it with your scimitar.
Good fella. Keep hold tight on it. Keep hold tight. If you could do a support roll for me, good fella, that would be really helpful for my cunning plan.
Support roll of what, though?
Either strength to keep it pinned down,
support. It'll be athletics.
Or athletics.
It'll be athletics.
Just so that I can let go of it momentarily to do something else narratively.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Well, actually, I'll tell you what I will say. What I will say is actually, let me target it back again. We'll make you. Do you want it as a support role, or do you want to make it a test against the cauldron that if he's successful, he'll be single-handedly keeping it bound? Your call.
Either would be fine.
So I like the idea of a test.
Go for it.
Go for test then,
make your athletics roll.
Because I ran back out to roughly where my backpack was, which is going to be important shortly.
Okay. Right. Yeah. Okay. So basically, good fella. Basically, you've got the net on it. You basically grab a bit of the net and lift it and flip it round it. But basically, really does pin the cauldron's legs to its side, pinning it down, which means it is bound, and Rannick no longer has to hold on to it. For Goodfella has, in fact, bound the cauldron by himself.
Nice one, Goodfella. You keep it steady.
When's Rannick going? I've got one Benny left. No, I think it's time. I think it's time. Well, it's 9 o'clock. I'm going to spend a Benny on the cauldron. The cauldron's going next.
I'm going to spend a Benny on Rannick. Twice. Rannick can't get more than a 9. Damn it.
Actually, I'm sure he can. There are quite a few. No, there are quite a few more cards than a 9 for the record. The cauldron. Oh, well, that's that. The cauldron's remaining shaken, and I spent a Benny to waste my time with that one. So that's it. The cauldron is shaken and therefore cannot attempt to break free from being bound, which brings us to Snookums.
Snookums is going to dart out here and pounce on the thing.
I thought he might. I take it that's a wild pounce.
Of course.
I've already programmed it in.
Bloody hell, will you call that pussycat off?
The pussycat bounces on top of it and scratches deeply.
Kill.
Yeah, that lovely sound of nails on a blackboard. Oh! Snookums basically rends down, and basically the legs splatter off, and the cauldron collapses down to the ground and doesn't move.
Well, Rannick's still going to do what he was going to do, which is grab a rope out of his backpack, loop it through the net, toss it over a branch, and pull the cauldron up into the air like a piñata.
You can certainly do that. It's very dent and bashed and it's not moving, but congratulations, you have defeated the Cauldron of Evilness. At which point I will unlock the tokens and cancel all your magical spells.
Rannick will prod the remains of the cauldron just to make sure.
Right, so we're looking at a plant that looks like a rat's tail. In here somewhere, I can't see it.
Okay, due to the volume and disorganisation of the cottage's contents, it will take you quite a bit of time to search it, about 10 minutes or so, and a successful survival roll to locate the ingredient needed. Jelsa's. Oh, sorry, tell a lie. Jelsa's already found it.
What? Fine for Jordan.
Dondrad, after 10 minutes of searching, Jelsa goes, found it, and holds up basically some interesting looking herbs. Dondrad, you.
Has Jelsa found an actual rat's tail?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think that's an. Have you smelt that? I think you think that's an actual rat's tail.
Yes, Jelsa is holding up a rat's tail, which is after all what they're looking for. Who else wants to search the cottage, if anyone?
Searching that through,
I already pressed notice.
well, you're doing survival, not notice.
Oh, but yeah, well, I did that early. That's why. Yeah, I've obviously got salt in my eye.
Indeed. However, the notice will catch you some other stuff. Can I have... But in fact, don't worry about the survival because Dondrad's found it. Jelsa's holding up a rat's tail, very happy with herself. You made a notice roll. Make a common knowledge check, please, Arena. Instead of survival, I apologise. No, there might be other things in here, but you're not sure. So basically, you can actually, yeah, it's interesting. You can actually, I mean, if you want to really examine the place and spend some time here, just a cult, yeah, it's a witch. For another reason, for another thing, it's a witch's hut, so you may or may not find a cult useful as well. And if anyone's got detect magic, they can always use that as well. But anyway, common knowledge. Okay, righty-ho. So, with a combination of your common knowledge, your occult rolls, and everything else, you find, on quite a bit of searching in the hearts, you come out with a rat's tail, the rat's tail herb, and some other stuff, which I shall add to the party sheet.
While they're searching inside, Bert's going to have a chat with... Rannick's going to have a chat with Bert again. So Pussycat just came out of nowhere and rescued you?
Yeah, my little Snookums, did you owl your paws scratching on that metal? Yes, my little baby. I will check and make sure you was all... Oh, yeah. I was getting harassed by some townsfolk, and... Snookums literally jumped over my head and stood between me and the townsfolk, and basically scared them off. He didn't even have to make any attacks. He just kind of stood there growling and scared them off.
Well, that was all right of him, wasn't it? Was it the old "you're an half-orc" thing? You must be troubled.
Mostly, yeah.
Mostly. What had you done?
Well, you see, these guys had always been picking on me. I mean, they ever since I was young, I had been told how half orcs are going to be mean and nasty and all the rest of this stuff. So these guys tried to make it true. They were picking on me to try and make it actually happen. That I would get mad and attack them, and I refused. And so they just kept chasing me down, trying to pick a fight with me. And apparently Snookums, and my little baby, yes he is, saw this and decided to protect me.
See, I found you only have to punch a bully once. After that, if you stare at them right, they remember how you punched them the first time.
Yeah, but I didn't want to prove them right. I didn't want to prove that all half-orcs are violent.
I'm not exactly violent, not unless, you do something to me first. Or you're a criminal and I'm hunting you down. Or you attack me. Or you attack one of my friends. Or you spill me beer. I mean, that's not exactly violent, is it?
Or if they piss on you, that really makes you mad. I noticed that.
Oh, aye. Especially when they bring it up again later. I mean, it's not like I can't take a joke, but that was a little step too far, I think.
You should have killed him outright. I told you so.
No, he can live with what he did. It's far worse for him.
Okay.
So we got everything we need from here.
Well, Arena took Jelsa's tail from a rat, as I'm calling it. I.e., it really is a dead rat's tail. She also took the rat's tail root, which was the herb you were looking for. She also picked up a collection of statues and rare stones. Dondrad, in the meantime, picked up some shrunken head-looking amulet and a pouch containing some interesting swords.
All right. Well, have we got everything we need? What sort of time of day is it?
It's probably mid-morning, I think.
Well,
So, I mean, that shrunken head amulet's a bit weird, is it not?
Dave, what do you do with that?
A little person's head.
That looks like some. Is that a dwarf? Was that that does not look good. Should you be messing around with witchy stuff? You being a priesty and all that. I mean, the gods never did anything for me, but they obviously definitely never did anything for that fella, whoever he were.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I just might bury it. Go home and take it home and bury it.
That is the thing.
Well,
that is magical if you use when you use detect magic on it.
So what's that in a cult rule?
No, it's an action just to use detect magic, isn't it?
Yeah,
So how
but
do
you can. If it's common magic, common knowledge will identify it, and if it's not, occult will identify it.
Indeed. You need to use occult on the pouch. You'll need to use occult on the pouch containing salts, and you'll need to use occult on the shrunken head amulet.
Right, well, let's try the shrunken head first.
Okay, well, the shrunken
I'm a
head.
bit perplexed.
The shrunken head
I don't know what it
amulet. You think this might be Soul Speaker? According to legend, this grotesque amulet, like shrunken head, contains the enslaved soul of its former owner, forced to obey whoever carries it. The Soul Speaker repeats a message spoken by its owner once a day. The owner must hold the 6-inch diameter head, speak a brief message, and state the conditions under which the Soul Speaker should repeat it. While it carries a readied message, the eyes of the stitched head stretch open. The eyes close as soon as it delivers the message.
That is not nice.
Oh, I was thinking the same thing.
Well, aye. Well, you do with that what you like, Dondrad. Just keep it bloody well away from me.
I think it'd be really useful for sending secret messages because you can say only reveal the message when so and so's holding it, and then you send it to some courier to take with you.
Exactly.
Well, if you want the teeny tiny head of a dead, if you want the teeny tiny head of a dead dwarf having a chat with you, that's fine. Just keep it bloody well away from me.
Shall we roll for the salts as well?
Mm-hmm. Actually,
Bath salts, okay.
Actually, yeah. Mate, should actually occult roll find pouch. Yeah, So they're bath salts. I should mark them as unidentified for now.
Spend a penny on it. Go and spend a penny on the salts. It can't be bath salts. Bath salts.
Okay,
red.
these salts, if they're burnt in a campfire, spellcasters who breathe them in add a +2 to their next arcane skill roll. This effect fades if not used within the next 24 hours.
Be bath salts. Witches don't take baths. Everybody knows they melt in water.
Yeah, so the next time we're going somewhere really, really bad and we camp out, we'll have a party and all the spellcasters get around the party and have a good snort.
Very much so.
Aye. Well, if that's
That's wow powder again, isn't it?
It is. It's as well. It is. What's well powder? Well, if that's that, we should be getting over to the river, see if we can cross it and get back to Falcon's Hollow.
Okay. Well, you certainly can get back to the river today. A survival check will let you guys build a raft. You need to decide who's building the raft and who wants to assist the building of the raft.
I've done rafts before. I can certainly have a go at building. Anyone want to give me a hand?
Wait a minute.
I can help.
I'm going on a boat.
So survival checks to assist. Obviously, that's to sort of identify good bits of wood that can be used and aren't rotten, and obviously stuff like that. So that's a +1 for Bert.
She also would be sneaking, wandering around looking for appropriate wood, so she'll know.
That's a +2
Spark
total.
it. Any bugger else going to help out?
I don't know. How do you make a raft?
You need slightly more than leaves, I'm afraid, Dondrad. I know leaves float, but they don't float when there's a dwarf standing on them.
Okay, so
dwarfs don't do boats.
it looks like it's
They're unnatural. Boats are unnatural.
I'm surprised they didn't put the craft skill in, but they didn't, so. Especially as they did for Deadlands Weird West. Yep, no problem at all. So it takes you. It's basically you get back to Falcon's Hollow on the 6th day since you set out. You notice some dirty looks from some of the people in the town. You wonder. It takes you a little while to. You are taken aback by some of the looks you get. Other people seem relieved to see you, but it would appear that in the 6 days you've been away, 13 villagers have died of the. I've forgotten what it's called.
The black
something or
mold
other.
thing.
Yeah. Yes. I just can't remember what it's called.
Well, that was fast. I don't think we could have done any quicker than that.
Black scour taint.
No, if anybody comes and tries to make a thing of it, Rannick will have a go back. But he's not going to yell out at them.
No. Once he got to 30 dead villagers, then it gets interesting because certain people that may or may not have helped you might be a little upset because their kids have died. But that's okay. It was only 13. So you basically head back to Roots and Remedies. Back to where and you give the ingredients to Laurel.
Yeah, she's a bit snooty. Rannick, don't kick off for Christ's sake.
As long as she pays us what she owes us.
Basically, Gloriel's glad to see you. She immediately sets out to brew the remedy. By the same evening, many of the locals are well on their way to recovery. She pays you your due and offers you a discount on any future services. And the town acknowledges you and thanks you as their rescuers. Now, what did she offer you? I can't remember. I'm going to have to go.
Well, she promised me I could have some of her pretty colored bottles if we did this successfully.
She did.
And I certainly intimidated her into increasing her offer considerably.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a bit measly, but the gold offer was a bit.
300 gold. There you go. So, and the only other thing to say is congratulations, one and all. You have saved the town of Falcon's Hollow and proven to be Hollow's last hope. Well, there we go.
I know exactly what I'm taking.
Be my guest. Oh. What are you taking out of interest?
I am raising my vigor to a D8.
Fair enough.
Oh, we got an advance.
Indeed. You have indeed.
Kirsten's just had to run upstairs to do some parenting. There was a thud and crying, and she got there first.
I think Do you know what really winds me up? Sometimes.
Nope.
In a silly way. Obviously being a moderator on the Fantasy Grounds forums, I get reported posts in, and every single time, by the time I get there, someone's already got rid of it. And this one, I'm really intrigued because someone was obviously posted about the X cards extension for Fantasy Grounds. So you heard about X cards?
Nope.
The idea is
Yes.
if the GM or any players start broaching on a subject that makes any of the
I've
other
got you,
players
yeah.
and players uncomfortable about, they can hold up these
you can
cards with a
red
big
card
red. You can red card them basically. So someone, I won't mention names, he's only made 3 posts on the forums, obviously said something because that was the complaint. The complaint about it was about whatever he put, which now just says edited. And someone else responded to it. Again, I have no idea what it originally said, but it said, "Great job, completely misunderstanding the purpose of these things. Just because you don't understand things doesn't mean there isn't a use." So I'd love to have known what he put, but I'll never know now because it's gone. And so that happens quite a lot. It's like I see everyone's horrified reactions to something. It's like, drat, I wasn't fast enough. I never am. People seem to be on top of these things really well. It's good. Anyway. Right, well, we've still got an hour. I don't know what to do now. Go away. Only joking.
Well, we've got to sell our loot, haven't we?
You do indeed have to sell your loot. So let's sell your loot. Bung your stuff. Bung all the loot you want to sell into the party sheet. Back into the party sheet and we'll sell it off. Are you going to try and sell it off here in Falcon's Hollow? Or are you going to sort of head on out? You have.
I reckon we should head out somewhere. Well, we need to report back to the Pathfinder Society and tell them that we're successful.
You do indeed.
And maybe they'll give us a good price for all the fancy stuff we've got.
I want to say it's Absalon or something, isn't it? The town that they're based in.
It's not a different. That's not a different island.
Because it's Absalon Station in Starfinder, but I want to say it's Absalon. So, getting started. The Inner Sea region.
So way down south, get to city on a boat across the
some of the things you might want to find a seller for, find a buyer for, like some of the dwarven stuff. If Dongrad wants to pass it on, maybe finding somebody that's
yes, Absalon is an island.
Interested in that sort of thing.
But you are down in Andorran, so you will literally have to sail back across the sea to Absalon. To the city of Absalon. Okay, well that's quite multiracial and everything else, so you probably get a good deal there. So we'll say it's a few weeks later and you have arrived back at Absalon and reported in your mission, and you are obviously inducted into the Pathfinder Society as full members.
Of course, some of the stuff we've got, like I've got a perfect Tatzelworm hide. Don't know what that's going to value at.
Well, pop it in and we'll see.
Yeah, I'm selling me Dorag hymn book. Since I don't got on the old father.
Right, let's get rid of
Okay.
that.
You can attempt to craft. But use only as raw materials for crafting. Harvesting parts. Okay, that was item creation. Well, we'll say. Okay. Well, I'll say that we'll give you. Okay, what I do need to do, because I know for a fact that some of these items were created before I updated all the roles. So before we sell anything,
Talking about being over encumbered, I thought backpacks half your encumbrance.
They do, but they don't do it automatically. You have to manually go through and
You'd
half
have
the
to
way.
manually go. Would have to manually go through
and halve it all. Although Akil does think it should be possible to do so.
It might help us. There you go. I'm unencumbered already. It's just half in my bedroll.
Okay.
That means you've got to double it if you take it out of the backpack slot.
Does anyone else want to sell anything? I've updated him.
I'm just finding out from Kirsten if she wants to sell the ring of toe rag.
I do miss.
I don't know. That's magical. I'd keep that if I was you.
I do.
Okay.
Do miss the streetwise skills sometimes. It was
That
great.
gives you
It's a great way of
the ring of Thorag.
giving you bonuses on selling stuff. So let's try
you,
some networking.
It would
Fire resistance.
Let's have some networking rolls. See if you can find your best seller for all your stuff. Which is persuasion now, isn't it?
persuasion or intimidation, either one.
Yeah.
Could we try nice first?
Well, I was. If we have a primary negotiator, I'll just stand in the background looking like it would be a bad idea to not go with the nice thing as a support role.
Okay.
So who feels like they might be good at talking to merchants? But answer came there none.
Okay, well you'll sell everything for 50% of its value unless you find someone unless you get any good successes.
If nobody's going to try the nice way, then when the merchant only offers us 50%, Rannick's going to lean forward and say, "I'm sure you can do better than that, can't you?" And I'll lead it with intimidation.
Go for it. Are you happy with that?
I'm happy with the success. I'm not going to try and break his toes or anything like that.
Oops, you sell it all. He gives you 717 gold, which works out at 119 gold each.
It's all right. Will do.
Right, so I need to add. Yeah, I need to go through and add gold piece onto the end. If I don't put gold piece on the end of all the items, it converts them to dollars. Right. So, okay. Well, from that point there, you are now members of the Pathfinder Society, which is all well and good. Oh, yes. That's an annoying thing. I'm trying to find where you're going. There's Magnamar. There's Riddleport.
We're going to Sandpoint, aren't we?
Sandpoint.
You're
So
going
we're
home.
going to have to sail all the way out of the all the way
Yeah,
out
no,
of the bay.
I find it very interesting because Magnamar's on there, Riddleport's on the map that's in the core rules book, but Sandpoint isn't. That's a
No,
shame.
it's just north of Riddle Point. It's on the marsh. It's a little place.
Now here's an interesting one I haven't worked out yet. I can't. Maybe I made it GM only. I can't remember. They released the guide to Varizia. Now I think that is a GM's only book. I don't think it's like the old player's guide. But anyway, I don't know. But anyway, you spent a long time on your boot sailing around. So if you were looking on the Inner Sea region map here, you start off down here at Absalon. So you will be sailing the entire length of the Inner Sea out into the Arcadian Ocean. Once you hit the Arcadian Ocean, you'll be heading northwards and up into the Varisian Gulf, and somewhere up there is Sandpoint, but I can't remember where.
Yeah,
Around there.
it's about there.
Yeah, around there somewhere.
Yeah, I think so too. But that's where you'll be headed next.
I grew up around there, you know.
Indeed, you would.
Yeah, I can't go back. Can't go back to the Five Kings Mountain. Man, there's nothing in.
We've got
Nothing.
an hour
But
left,
I
so
don't want to get away from that volcano.
I've even.
You don't like going home, then?
Right.
Sandpoint's all right. There's big theatre there. To be honest, it was never quite my thing. Big glassworks.
I don't know if the players. I mean, I don't know if the player's guide, which you can freely download, the player's guide to Rise of the Rune Lords, gives you much for unless you're playing Pathfinder. If that, do you know what I mean? Because I think it's mostly extra trait rolls and stuff like that, rather than. Should have a map of Sandpoint though in the Rise of the Rune Lords.
I grew up on a farm outside Sandpoint, mostly. Farmer Brown and his wife, Mrs. Brown. Still own the cottage there, mind. Be bloody dusty by now.
There must be a map.
I am going to take a see for my raise. I'm actually going to take a background edge.
What?
Which is brawny.
Point. The dwarven ability works like brawny for encumbrance, and brawny stacks with it. So how on earth are you encumbered?
And well, I don't. I am encumbered. So, what's the dwarfs give you?
The dwarf tough.
Gives you +1 vigor.
Brawny
Yeah,
doesn't
but
give
if
you
you-
any encumbrance bonus.
Yes, it does. Brawny makes you treat your strength die as one type higher when determining
Right, we've
encumbrance.
just found a bug. We've just found a bug. Then,
You haven't found you haven't
brawny.
found a bug. It's not a bug.
Well, it's a missing feature then. Yeah, so having the dwarven tough ability could give you the coding effect for brawny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because it gives you. It gives,
that's not a bug. That's a no one pointed it out until this point, and therefore I haven't got it coded into the rule set yet.
yeah, the dwarf tough. It doesn't give you +1 toughness. It gives you +1 vigor, die type, which does give you +1 toughness. But it also treats your strength as one die type higher for encumbrance and minimum strength for armor and weapons. And then if you have brawny, that gives you +1 toughness and one die type higher strength for purposes of encumbrance, minimum strength for armor and weapons as well, which stacks with tough.
Because I mean, that's what I was doing. I thought I was going to have to buy as a background because dwarfs normally don't do encumbrance penalties, do they?
So yeah, with both your basic tough and brawny, you'll count your strength as 2 die types higher for encumbrance and for using weapons and for wearing armor.
Because my strength is
where that
D8,
is.
it would be D12.
My
wouldn't
money
it?
says that will be in manager inventory. Where is that?
Yeah, if you're strength D8, you'll count as having strength D12 for encumbrance.
I know, but that's hard coded into the
Good.
rule set. That's the problem.
Ah,
It's not an effect.
Did
yeah.
I actually might be able to put up all my skills? My skills are all D4 because it's a talk thing.
Because you needed the cult D6.
So I had
Yeah.
to put everything down.
Local
So I might actually put skills
total
up
weight
instead.
equals function. Local and total weight inventory pairs. If carried and DB is equipment. Local get load limit function. So the encumbrance limit is encumbered, returned. So there is a get load limit function. That's where the code would. I'd need to update the get load limit function, which is a bit annoying. Where's that?
And whatever it is for determining a minimum strength as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when I mean, if I can work out how to do it, I will do it. I've actually done some coding to begin with, and then a kill comes along and actually does it properly.
He comes along and goes, it works, but it's not elegant.
Yeah, but hey ho, I was going to make another video a bit like the last one for starting a Rise of the Runes. I probably still will. I don't. But in fact, actually, I have a cunning plan. I had a cunning plan for this, which is good.
Ooh.
Ooh. So yes, welcome to Sandpoint, one and all. I just Sandpoint locutions, which is fine. I do believe I have a map for Sandpoint. The Light of the Lost Coast. So, as one approaches the town of Sandpoint, the footprint of civilization upon the Lost Coast grows more clear. Farmlands in the outlying moors and river valleys grow more numerous, and the blue-green waters of the Rician Gulf bear more and more fishing vessels upon the waves. Passage over creeks and rivers is more often accompanied by a wooden bridge than a ford, and the Lost Coast Road grows wider and better kept. Sight of Sandpoint from either approach, south or east, is hidden by a large upthrust limestone pavements known as the Devil's Platter, and the arc of the rocky outcroppings and the lightly forested hilltops that rise up just east of town. Only as the final bend in the road is rounded do Sandpoint's smoking chimneys and bustling streets greet the traveller with open arms and the promise of warm beds. A welcome sight indeed for those who've spent the last few days alone on the Lost Coast Road. From the south, entrance to Sandpoint is governed by a wooden bridge, while the north, a low stone wall, gives the town a bit of protection. Here, the Lost Coast Road passes through a stone gatehouse that is generally watched by a few guards. The southern bridge is typically unattended. Aside from the occasional goblin, the citizens of Sandpoint have traditionally had little cause to worry about invasion or banditry. The region isn't populated enough to make theft a lucrative business. Hanging from a bent nail at both the gatehouse and the southern bridge is a sign, and a mirror painted on each sign is the message, "Welcome to Sandpoint. Please stop to see yourself as we see you." So there you go. It's called the Light of the Lost Coast because that bit in the image I was showing you, that's sticking up at the far west side, is believed to be an ancient lighthouse.
Yeah, definitely used to be a lighthouse. Long, long time ago.
Indeed.
Didn't anymore, mind.
And there is the map of Sandpoint. So, you basically arrive in Sandpoint.
We're arriving by boat, aren't we?
Yes, you'll be coming in down at the harbour here, which would bring you in, and at the So the first things you will notice is as you're coming into the harbour along the docks there, you can see some various places. You can see there's a fish market. There seems to be a tavern that calls itself the Hagfish. There appears to be the shipyard where obviously they see shipwrights building boats and everything, and another tavern that appears to be called Fat Man's Feed Bag, but that's by the by. And obviously knowing your way around the place, Rannick will basically probably take you further away from the
So this is
outskirts.
this is up in Verisian?
Yes, it is indeed.
Aye. We're in Verizia.
What I am looking for is you will basically
Where were we before?
very far away. Very, very far away. So that's not a very helpful map.
Were we in the Whisperwood or something like that? Or no, Falcon's Hollow.
Yes.
You were in Andoran.
Yes, you're in Doran. Yes. Then you went home to Absalon, and now you're headed up to Sandpoint, which there's Sandpoint Harbour there. that is not that it's got any title on it, but that's the player's map of the of Sandpoint and the surrounding area. Isn't that scintillating? All of that area to explore, aren't you lucky people? Lucky people. Oh, there's some interesting typos I've found here. My word, the hinterlands is very broken. Mind you, actually, the hinterlands is very broken. I'll have to
I
fix
grew
it.
up around here somewhere. I grew up on a farm around here somewhere.
I need to fix that, but that's okay. So most of the buildings in Sandpoint are made of wood and stone foundations and wood shingle roofs. The majority of them are single-storey structures with a few noted exceptions. The town is often thought of two districts by the locals. The uptown consists of basically the northern areas. I think 1 to 12, I said. Yeah, the northern areas. I'm not sure where that's 11. So I think that's sort of the dividing area, as it were, between uptown and lowtown, as it were. So the town. So the majority of the buildings can be found in downtown. Yeah. So most of these buildings are relatively new. The streets are open and less crowded. That's uptown. Yep. This section of town is also physically above the west, situated on a bluff overlooking downtown. The majority of the town's buildings can be found in downtown, which grows increasingly crowded as available space is claimed by new arrivals. Downtown is built on a gentle slope that runs from a height about 60 feet above sea level to the west, down to only a few feet above the waterline to the east and south. Sandpoint Harbour is a modest-sized natural harbour. It's about 30 feet deep. The languid waters of the Turandot River wind down from the hinterlands, skirting Devil's Platter to empty into the harbour. The river is often used to transport lumber, harvested far upriver down to the local sawmill. South of the town rises another bluff on which Sandpoint's most affluent landowners have staked their claim. That's over here. There's a number of mansions and stuff over there. The remote out... Okay, only a few hundred feet away is... So only a few hundred feet north of town, which is up here, rises an upthrust spur of rocky land topped with a few trees. The tidal island is now known as Chopper's Isle and was once the home of Sandpoint's most notorious criminal. As the locals call it, the Late Unpleasantness, which I'm sure Rannick knows all about, and I will sure he...
Aye. He were a right bugger with that Chopper.
Indeed. Rannick will be able to tell you about that if you do know. Otherwise, I will.
I do have something about it, not a great deal, but he were a right rowdy one. Chop, chop, chop all the time. Basically,
Jarvis Stoot.
He were a mass murderer, really. They do say his ghost is still haunting that island. We used to get dared to go out there, go out low tide, touch the cliff face. As far as I know, no bugger's been up top for years.
Yes, yeah. Carry on, sorry.
It were not nice.
No, indeed.
He killed.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. He killed maybe a score, maybe more, and he cut out all their eyes and tongues, and they say that he was like he was doing something to summon some demon or something. Farmer Brown didn't say too much about it, but
they called
it were bad business. Definitely bad business.
Indeed, the saddest thing was he was Jarvis Stoot. He was a strange old man who would basically, with the owner's permission, would basically go round Sandpoint and carve birds into people's houses, into the wood in their houses, to get a Stoot. Funny enough, actually, I wonder if Banksy was around way back when they wrote this one. But basically, the same thing about, I don't know, I'm not sure how much if Banksy's big in America, but in this country, Banksy's this artist that no one supposedly knows who he is, and if he he'll paint on the side of buildings and stuff. I don't think he gets permission, but obviously the second he paints something, it becomes worth a fortune. Well, Stoot seems to be the same sort of thing, but he'd get permission and carve intricate wood birds on people's houses, and it was a sign of respect, and it was much admired if you got astute. And obviously, after it was uncovered that what he was doing, basically now you'll find quite a few houses. Well, before the fire, you'd have found quite a few houses where literally the owners came out and literally defaced it to hide the fact that this had happened. But yeah, it was quite a shock at the time. But the real,
I mean, story is they never actually stopped him. Not proper like. They found him, and he pulled out his own eyes and tongue.
Yeah.
Don't like to talk about it too much, though. So I wouldn't.
Yeah, they were
talk about it.
It was very much, basically when they were they caught him sort of on the halfway through murdering his 25th victim, and they chased him, and he fled to Stoot's Rock, which is where Jervis Stoot lived, and they feared that Stoot was going to be his 26th victim, but that's when they realised instead that he was in fact the chopper. But yeah. Stoot was found dead at the base of the altar, having placked out his own eyes and tongue loose in a final offering. The guards collapsed the entrance to the lower chambers, burned Stoot's house, tore down the stairs, and did their best to forget. Stoot was burned on the beach in a pyre, his ashes blessed and then scattered in an attempt to stave off an unholy return of his evil spirit. But as fate would have it, the people of Sandpoint would have a new tragedy to bear, one that almost eclipsed the chopper's rampage. A month after the murderer was slain, a terrible fire struck Sandpoint. It started in the Sandpoint Chapel and spread quickly. As the town rallied to save the church, the inferno expanded, consuming the North Coast stables, the White Deer Inn, and 3 homes. In the end, the church burnt to the ground, leaving the town's beloved priest Ezekiel Tobin and his beautiful adopted daughter Nualia dead. All that remains of the once loved Stoot carvings are ragged stalls and buildings and figureheads where the owners used hatchets to remove what had become a haunting reminder of their wolf in the fold. The homes and
That was a big fight.
Yeah. The homes and the businesses ravaged by the fire have been reconstructed, and Sandpoint Chapel has finally been rebuilt, it would appear, Rannick.
Oh, hey, that's looking right. You know that? See that big building there? That's right where Chapel used to be. It burnt down. They'd made it out of wood, and when the fire happened, it went up like a really burny thing. I mean, to be honest. Aren't the gods supposed to look after places like that? I mean, really, it does make you wonder what they do up there. No offence, Dondrad and all, but I mean, really, but hey, looks like it's looking really nice now.
Yeah, that is
looks
going
like
to
it's
be,
almost finished.
It's basically, I think the consecration has yet to be done, but that will be a cathedral. Sandpoint hopes to finally put the dark times of its late.
I would quite like to visit that. I can help them out.
Well, indeed, you will get a chance, and in fact, indeed, you will. You basically do. You basically get the chance to move around and meet people, which we will worry about at some point. But in the meantime, when I can't find notable individuals. However, not long after you have arrived at Sandpoint, it would appear that. The local Sheriff Hemlock, someone who you probably remember from your childhood, Rannick, I suspect. Fair individual. Firm but fair. A copper and all that, but an honest one. Was involved in the capturing of the chopper a few years back. He does basically approach you when you've all gathered together one night.
Evening, Sheriff Hemlock.
Basically, Sheriff Hemlock comes forward and recognises you, and obviously he's heard you were back, and then made some inquiries and all that, and has uncovered that you are all members of the Pathfinder Society, and therefore basically brings over a a selection of drinks and asks if he may join you. I should say she. I can't remember off the top of my head now. Sheriff Hemlock.
I think the sheriff's a lady, isn't she? I might be wrong.
Yeah, I might be wrong. I can't remember. Where it is? I want to see a picture, but I don't appear to have one. I know there is one. Images. Come on, images. Hemlock. Whoops. Oh, no, there isn't. I'm sure I've seen one. Maybe I haven't put it in there yet. I'm going to find out now. Hemlock. No. Sheriff Hemlock. Hey, it's a bloke. Yeah, it's a bloke. Sheriff Bellor Hemlock. I do have a picture of him somewhere, but I don't know what's happened to him. So from your perspective, if we do copy link, and I do that there, yeah, that should take you to a picture of the sheriff. Yeah. Anyway, he comes over with some drinks and basically sits down and tells you a story that a few weeks ago livestock started to disappear from nearby farms. Sometimes a half-eaten corpse is found, and sometimes only bloodstains. The people of Sandpoint are afraid, and Mayor Kendra Deverin is growing desperate. She hopes that some heroes will volunteer to search out this menace and put an end to it before it kills a person. She's offering a reward of 1,000 gold pieces to the group that stops this mysterious creature. Although no one has seen the killer directly, a long black fang was found in one of the animal corpses, prompting the locals to dub the unseen killer Black Fang.
Oh, that's original.
So you're suggesting we should sort that out, are you?
Well, the sheriff's heavily suggesting that you might find that you may find that a lucrative adventure.
And it's attacking round farmsteads, is it?
Indeed. I didn't mean to do that.
Which side of Cougar River is it hunting?
Trust you. The right side to make you get involved.
Oh, the south side of Cougar River is where Rannick's cottage is.
Yeah, it would be the south side. Looking at it. Rumour.
All right. Well,
rumour.
I know folks round there.
Well, basically speaking, rumour has it that Black Fang. Rumour has it that Black Fang is living in an old cave north of the river, but obviously the farmland south of the river seems to be where it likes to hunt.
Yeah. Well, Rannick's cottage is to the south of Cougar River.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to go there and as a base to set out and find this Black Fang then.
Make a common knowledge roll, Mr. Rannick, sir.
Okay. Any bonuses for being a local?
No.
Okay.
Okay, maybe plus one.
I'll spend it.
There we go. You suspect it might be. You get the impression it might be that section of caves that have long been used as by many monsters over the years, and every so often they get cleared out, and then a few decades later something else moves in. So you suspect you know exactly where you need to head.
A pretty good idea where we might need to go. Tell you what, we'll have a visit to my cottage. You can get a night's kip there as long as you don't mind sleeping on the floor. I've only got one bed. I've got a pretty good idea where we can go. Is everybody else up for it?
Yeah, it's better paying than all.
Sure.
I mean, the good people here in Sandpoint. even if Sheriff is a little bit keen on people not carrying weapons around too much. But yeah, they're good people around here, and especially out in the farms. I mean, everybody used to help out. I sold most land off to neighbouring farmers, but I kept the cottage, you see, after Farmer Brown and Mrs. Brown died.
Well, that wasn't annoying. I'm going to have to do it manually.
Only a few hours off.
Sorry?
My cottage, it's only a few hours walk.
Yeah. So I'm just
Certainly within walking distance for like doing market days and what have you.
I'm sorry. I'm having severe fights with fancy grounds. Right. That's got it sorted. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, you head on. You basically head the following morning from the night at the cottage. Radek, you basically know of a ford you can use to cross the river, and actually it'd be a bridge. Actually, thinking about it, in that river, and you basically start. You know a path you can take up, and eventually, at last, the dungeon is in sight up ahead. The entrance looks more like a cave than the front door of an underground fortress. A curtain of thick green moss hangs over the entrance, hiding what lies beyond. Standing in front of the entrance is a menacing old statue of a stone warrior.
Well, there you are.
Indeed.
I can't see much.
You can see all the items, but
Yeah.
You see what?
Can see.
you see the treasure chest.
Oh yeah, that's annoying, isn't it? That's
Oh,
really
yeah.
annoying. I'm really happy with the way the illumination works then. I'm very annoyed with that one. Well, what's the point of actually putting lighting on a map if it goes through line of sight? Tell me that. Someone tell me the point of that.
With lighting and line of sight when I've been using it for 50 fathoms.
And what's the
But
bloody...
it's worked fine.
I give up. I really give up.
I've always had it working.
Pardon? I really give up.
Okay, so far I've managed to get it to work, but
Well, it certainly isn't here. When I turn on what you can see and then click on, you can see all lit up areas on the map, can you? When you don't.
No.
No, I think you've got items, objects you placed on a different layer that's illuminated.
Probably.
So you've got might be the way that you put your layers down.
Yeah, possibly. That's probably what I need
There
to
you
do.
go.
That's probably what I need
So
to do.
then all those are behind it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you know where they all are now. I'll know that in future. Fucking bollocks. Anyway, you can see the statue and the what's the word I'm looking for?
I can't see the statue. All I can see is a black screen.
Black screen, right?
Oh, I give up. I give up. I've had enough of this bloody line of sight and lighting bollocks. Right, I'm not playing anymore.
Hey, you left me behind, dude.
I have. Well, if you can't see anything, I give up.
Have you switched lighting on?
Yeah, everything's on.
Is there ambient lighting on? Because that was the problem last time. Okay, I can see.
I see it all.
Now I can see everything.
But not
That's
the light.
okay.
Matrix.
Right,
It's okay.
go away. I've had enough. I'm fed up with this stupid lighting. So what can you see now then?
It was working.
Is it working now?
Nothing because you shut them up.
See anything now because you shut the map.
Sorry.
That's better.
Right
That's
here.
it.
Yeah, that's good.
Perfect.
Right!
That's good. We like that.
Fuck's sake, it really winds me up, this
That's
lighting.
when Chelsea started moving up because she's going to be curious.
Right, what about the whole British upper crust?
I'm tired. The whole British upper crust fails when this room, the temperature inside this room is 30 degrees.
Well, you mean the stiff upper lip.
It's wilted.
It's wilted. Right. So the statue appears this statue appears like it's melted a bit. So what I need to do is move people back a bit, because once you get to the statue and examine the statue, then it gets interesting. Suddenly, the curtain or more suddenly parts, and a pair of small. And a pair? That's more than a pair. A group of small green creatures with melon-shaped heads and toothy mouths charge out, swinging crude swords. These are goblins, a common pest that lives in these hills, howling battle cries. They charge.
Bloody goblins!
They charge.
I hate goblins.
They charge to attack. Well, actually, there's your.
Before I would like to yell in Goblin. I speak Goblin. I'd like to preempt our attack. I don't know how. Can I use a coin?
Go for it.
Good fellow will say, little brothers. I'll throw a coin down too. Little brothers, we are traders and slavers. We are here for trade. What do you have?
Okay. That's going to get interesting. What shall we say? Make a persuasion roll. You won't need to use that, Betty, but make a persuasion roll. We'll see what happens. Okay. I am going. Okay, I am going to say that from what happens there is 3 of the goblins that came charging out are suddenly distracted by the shiny gold coin that's thrown downwards, and basically are slightly distracted as it all kicks off. And I don't think I have dealt cards, so let's deal the cards. And well, good fellas.
Rannick isn't vulnerable.
Good fella throws down the coin and basically basically distracts goblins talking about selling people, which it looks like Rannick takes exception to. Jelsa.
Yeah.
Over to Jelsa.
Like goblins, and all of a sudden you guys see this whirlwind of glitter come up. Right in the middle of them. That throws them back. That's havoc.
Goblin, Goblin 2, Goblin 4, Goblin 3. Yep, okay. Havoc. Okay, Glitter Whirlwind. Okay, so you create mischief. Anyone touched by the template is distracted. Then they make a strength roll. So, first things first, you've got them all targeted. So let's hit them with that distraction power. So they're all distracted. Okay, then they all get to make a strength roll. You didn't get a raise. Okay, let's see what happens.
And they may take damage if they hit the cliff face.
There isn't a clip. Yes, indeed. I need to turn that off to see what happens. So, okay.
I've got nowhere to go.
The easiest way to do this is probably go down the list. So, Goblin fails. Anyone who fails will hold 2d6 inches directly away, and that's Goblin.
For some reason they're getting distracted by Havoc and distracted. They're at a -4.
Oh, I can live with that. Doesn't matter because I can read the dice.
Yeah.
It's interesting it stacks them. But anyway, they're all okay. For ease, they're all going to go back 5 inches. Jelsa's going this way.
They go out from the middle of the template on a round template.
Oh, of course they do. So he'll go 5 inches that way. Strength. That's
Yeah, and
goblin
if
number
they can't move, they take damage.
Yeah, or if they hit something solid like a statue or a wall, they take 2d4 damage as well.
And while
Indeed.
they're being tossed all over the place, I'm sitting here admiring the glitter swirling around. Isn't that pretty?
Goblin number 3 manages to hold on. Goblin number 4
Does not.
Goblin number 4 does not, and he's just going to smack straight into the wall behind him. That's 2d4 damage. Goblin number 4 hits the wall very hard and is shaken.
Nicely done, Sparkle Tits.
Goblin number 5, you can't actually see, but it basically, well, actually,
It can't be nasty. It's pretty. It's sparkly.
hang on, why is that not doing what I want it to do? Oh, because, yes, ignore me, I'm being stupid. Goblin number 5 is okay, and Goblin number 6 is also okay. So there we go. Now what I need is... that's what I need. I really didn't want to do more, but I'm going to anyway. So we're going to do new painting layer. Yes, we are. And then we're going to put that on there. Then we're going to take this round like so. And we're going to put this down, and I'm going to have to reshare it again, I suspect. But anyway. And needs to be in stamp mode so it works. And that should be enough. There we go. I think that gets the idea across I'm trying to get across, and I think I need to reshare it possibly before the painting layer actually works. Okay. What I'm trying to... What I'm trying to get across is the fact that there, although the map shows it as a wall, is actually a concealed wall. I.e., you can't see through it, if that makes sense, but you can walk through it. Okay, that was a nice move. So that's Jelsa done. That brings us to Snookums.
Snookums, there's this thing flying through the air. Snookums wants to go chase it down.
I shall target the goblin for you. Snookums targets
Not
the goblin.
only the canine kind of animals played fetch.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a bird, so it's more a matter of...
It's
can I
flying
catch
through
the
the air.
bird?
It's flying through the air right now, isn't it? Snookums' claws nabs it and basically stops its travel through the air. It's a bit put out by that. Arena.
He's not here, I'm afraid. I would imagine with there not being anything for her to beast friend, she would attempt to do some entangling.
But there are vines all over the place.
Indeed. And the sensible place to entangle is probably right there.
One,
Could be a
2,
4-point entangle.
3, 4.
You know what? Let's make it a 6-point entangle to add the damage effect. The entangled targets take 2d4 damage at the end of their turn, just to make life interesting.
I hate you. Not really.
Okay.
I wonder if, I think it's all to do with layers. I think that's the fun and games with the lighting, because you've got to have the wall of lines. I think I need to extract the lines and put them on their own layer so they're at the very top, and that would then block the line of sight to the lighting, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I must admit, on all the maps that I've done with lighting, I've always had the line of sight on the highest of the layers.
Yeah, the only problem with that is because of the lighting effects, that if they go underneath, it didn't work, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe it will. We'll move them down and see what happens. Hi, we'll play around with this map again. That might work. I'll try that later. Okay, so you've hit them all with entangle. I hate you all, sir.
So I got success. So there's the damage bit. And they are entangled, but I didn't increase it. So they're bound, but I didn't. Or is it entangled? Yeah, toughness 8, entangle.
Yeah. Wonderful stuff. Okay, that brings us to Rannick.
Rannick doesn't like these things. So grabs his bastard sword, and will be multi-actioning and wild attacking and generally smacking them. Can I see any more inside a cave with my dark vision, or
No.
can I not see into the end of the cave?
You have to.
Okay.
You have to You will physically need to walk through the concealing vines to see the inside of the cave.
Okay, you put that wild attack on Dondrad, but never mind.
I didn't put the wild
No, I
attack
put it
on at
on
all.
him. I'm
Oh, you're doing the same, are you? Okay.
I'm just lining up.
I didn't do anything. Don't you accuse me of anything. That's a hit.
I don't think. Oh, I'll re-roll that just to see if I can get better. Being as these are humanoids. There you go. Got to him in the right place. Between chin and shoulders is usually good.
Okay, so that's one less goblin.
Why did my raise damage not happen there? Weird. I killed it anyway, but... And then, on the second one, I will take my reroll.
Two dead goblins. Brings us to Dondrad Warhead.
Multi-action. Let's smash him.
Okay, yep.
That's a hit.
Three wounds. You killed Snookum's plaything. Is there any particular reason why you're suddenly moving off to the far top left corner of the map, Rannick?
No, I didn't think I'd done that. There we go.
I'll cancel it then. You haven't turned on your multi-action for this attack, therefore...
I have.
No, you ain't. Oh, you wild attacking. It's not. There's no penalties coming up for multi-action.
It should have. It should have.
Does it say one action or two actions down below?
Well, it's just changed to one action now, but it was two. Maybe it's because it's went to my turn. I pressed the button and then the turn order went to me.
Yeah, if you
Maybe
put it on,
cancelled it.
if you put it on before it went to your turn, it resets it when it becomes your turn.
Right. So did we hit the first one?
No, you
At
didn't.
-2.
You didn't. But I will.
Right.
I can leave you just having killed the first one and not basically wander over to the second goblin, but not hit it. I can do that if you want.
Right. That's what we do.
Yeah. So you kill one and then stomp over towards the next one. But
Everything's dead. Wait, no, there's one goblin still over there again. So, yeah, Bert's going to go ahead and shoot that one.
you can hear goblins screaming from inside the cave. You can hear more goblins in there. They just not all of them had come out, but by the time you smacked hot, they got attacked. So you can,
Yeah, let's go ahead and clear out the one third out here. I'm going to go ahead and shoot number 2.
Go for it.
I didn't leave Donrad vulnerable either.
Not to worry, he won't live long enough. Unless Bert shoots you in the backside instead of the goblin, I wouldn't worry about it. Nope, goblin number 2 takes an arrow to the chest. And is shaken. Unless you want to Benny the damage. Nope. Okay, goblin number 2 is shaken, which means I need to do that. Goblin number 2 unshakes and uses his dog slicer on Dondrad. Missing. Goblin number 5 is entangled. So all he can do is he'll have to break free, which will be athletics. I've got no bennies left, so that's 2d4 damage to him as the vines constrict upon him, choking the very life out of him.
Wahaha!
Shaking him. Goblin number 6 is also entangled, but he manages to not break free because he's been distracted by the havoc. And he's entangled, so he also will take 2d4 damage as the constricting vines. Actually, I think they might have killed him. Yep, the constricting vines basically strangle him and he dies, gasping for air.
Ooh.
Goblin number 7 opens fire. An arrow flies out of the cave, Rannick, and hits you.
Ouch!
Shaking you.
Bastard!
I need to do that so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm afraid the other goblin's going to do the same thing. Oh, nearly got you, but fortunately your shield protected you.
I'm ducking behind it. The first one got me.
Okay, so next second round, and good fella. Well, it looks like you had this good idea and you did distract them, but then everyone killed the goblins. And arrows are flying out of the cave.
So do I go again?
It's your go again. There's a goblin. There's one goblin with Dondrad, and there appears to be goblins shooting arrows from out of the cave. The entrance to the cave is concealed there.
Take my move up to 6.
Aha!
And I'm going to use my magic to blast a hole through the vines so I can see into the cave.
I think what you should need to do is... That's interesting. Why are you not able... What's going on? Oh, I know why. You're human.
You
can't see in the dark.
I'm only human, of flesh and blood I'm made.
So I'm afraid to say you basically get up to the very edge of the cave. Yeah. How can we get around that?
His action, he could light a torch, though.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, you can light a torch
I'll
to burn.
look and try and blow a hole through the vegetation to see.
Sounds good to me. You did that work? I'm really get confused by this.
Is spell casting? Or
Yeah,
what
there you
do I
go. So yeah, well, you use your torch to basically light a way ahead of you, and or spell casting, but same different. Yeah, you could. What spells have you got? Oh, it'd be burst.
Thinking burst.
Yeah, it would be burst. So you'd be back there again.
I was thinking just a nice burst to like, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's
roll
burst is an area, so you could just walk in, can't blanket the area, hoping you hit something, and then add a glow effect so they'll appear. Fairy fire.
Sounds good to me.
Right. I have to admit.
Do I just roll?
Oh, I give up on this one. please do. I'm really.
DM, should I roll?
Please
Should I
do.
roll?
Yeah, go roll away.
Yeah, the glow effect, you should be able to just target each goblin token with a candle.
Yeah, I know. But I can't delete this light off. Bloody! I can't delete this token light off now. I've turned it on. It's winding me up.
How did I
But
do it?
you might have turned it off because we can't see them. They might be off already.
What
Remember
really
that
winds?
it
What
takes-
really? Oh yeah, I think it's just. Yeah, I think it's just showing history. I think what really winds me up more than anything
it takes the
and-
mask away.
Yeah, what really winds me up more than anything is I have to go to the light tab to put on tokens and effect stuff, which then means I can't move the tokens to test whether it's worked or not, but I have to go back to the play tab to move the tokens.
Yeah, that is annoying.
It's really annoying. Okay, burst is a cone template. So with a cone template, you're going to burst light forwards like so. You basically got the rays, roll the damage. Hang on a second, let me target them first.
Do the light presets under the effects tab not put like torches on and what have you?
Yeah,
You can't turn them off unless you have the light tab, can you?
Yeah, you shouldn't be
no,
using
to be honest,
them.
we shouldn't be using. Well, no. Basically, there is just apparently how lighting works in Savage Worlds is different to how it works in the core rule set. But every time I try and arrange to actually have the training on that, I don't get it. I haven't had a response, so I haven't been shown how it works.
You should add it as an effect. You should add it as an effect on the combat
tracker. Yes, and that's what I will do from now on. I should learn these things. Okay, good fella burns away 2 goblins, leaving them burning corpses. That brings us to Arena.
Now, Arena's trapping for Entangle is vines grab things and tangle them up, yes?
Yes.
Or vines grow and what have you. Can Arena cast Entangle on the vines and moss and what have you, or whatever it is that's covering the entrance, and entangle it to pull back the curtain so that it's open? Make it wrap itself up, effectively.
The answer is yes, but the practicality reason is no.
Right, okay.
So yes, I don't logically yes, but there is no way to turn off a bloody concealed wall that I can see. Other
Can't
than
you just remove that bit of the
yes, I'd have to.
line of sight?
I would have to do that, yes. But yeah, I can do that. So yeah, make the casting roll.
That's not going to be a cantrip, though.
So it's 1 PowerPoint, but I think that worked.
There you go.
Cool.
I don't think it costs on a PowerPoint, is it? Because it's a cantrip.
If a cantrip only costs a PowerPoint on a critical failure, I do believe.
Well, if that was a cantrip, it didn't cost anything, but if it was Entangle, it did, but up to you.
I think that makes
But
sense.
that'll
Of
be
a
her
cantrip.
action.
I think that makes sense to be a cantrip. She uses, she uses her she casts a cantrip to make the vines pull themselves aside.
Yeah.
It's a minor magical effect, like blowing out a candle, you know.
Okay, goblin
That'll
number
be
2.
her action.
Yep, goblin number 2 will basically panic in a panic state, wildly attack with his dog slicer on this nasty dwarf, and hit him. But it doesn't hurt him. And I have no bennies left. Goblin number 7 cries in horror as bright lights come in. He will fire his bow at Goodfella, who just killed all his buddies, hitting. Nope, that's shooting him again. Doing... Ooh! I think I just skewered Goodfella with an arrow there. I assume you'd like to soak that, Goodfella, as an arrow comes lancing through the air. Looks like it's going to be quite a nasty arrow. Make that soak roll. Oh, I'm just going to do that. It's easier. Unless you get a better roll than me. Okay. At the moment, I'm going to... Basically, it's what you soak 1 wound. So you're going to still take a wound unless you want to try again.
I'll try again. It's the end of the day.
Go for it. Yeah, exactly. This will be the last round until next week. Make that vigor roll a second time. Oh, that's looking better. That's much better. So,
He just turned into Superman.
Feeling very vigorous all of a sudden.
Indeed. Well, basically, what happens there is the the arrow snags at the very last second on the vines as Irina pulls them aside, and then the goblin goes and runs away. Jelsa.
Sorry about my absence, guys. I had a parental emergency.
That's Suki Doki.
Josh was going to go running after him.
Okay, go for it.
I can't see which way he went. You have to move.
2 bathrooms are compact between 2.
Ooh. Since I did use running, I'm gonna have my sling in hand.
Well, actually, let me just if I'll just move you 2 inches. Yeah, you just won't have enough. You just won't catch him. So I'll move you back. I think that's going to be a
I
hit.
have my sling in hand.
Yeah, indeed. That's a good shot with your sling. I wonder why the nets don't work. I'm going to have to look into that. Okay, you basically fire a sling stone at the goblin and you hit him in the back of the head. He was running to a set of doors. And you incapacitate him. Dondrad, you're going to wild attack back, are you?
Yeah, I'm just up getting rid of the modifier bonus by dropping it to chat. So we are on Dondrad. The end turn. Dondrad will wild attack. Okay, look at that. It actually worked this time. He will hit.
That's a hit with a raise. Oh, double.
Oh. I thought it was going to fail. It's double 1 in there.
Yeah, I saw a double 1, but then, of course, then I wondered where that
two ones and managed to ace the...
One dice.
Ace the extra. Marvellous.
Marvellous stuff. Indeed.
And I will run. Or rather, not run. Slowly meander.
I was going to say.
5 inches. Right, there we go.
Snookums and Bert. And then...
Rannick will defend there.
Snookums and Bert, and then we shall leave it for the week and we shall continue exploring like Fang.
Snookums saw a little squeaky thing run away, so Snookums is definitely going to go darting after the squeaker.
Well, 8 inches gets Snookums to there.
Snookums will go ahead and step up here next to Rannick and defend, or can't defend. He ran.
The running away goblin seems to be, is lying there, not moving much.
Snookums is going to bat it like they do with like dead mice. Bat, bat. Are you still moving? Bat, bat.
That will get him to... Yeah, he'll get to there if he wants to bat, which he had movement for, so that's fine.
Okay, and then Bert is also going to run so he can catch up. That should only be 12.
You were asking it to. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it was... Yeah.
Yeah, for some reason it gave me... Yeah.
Yeah.
Bert will stand behind Raddick and go, okay, yeah, go get him. Go get him.
No problem at all.
But you're expecting the pussycat to get the stone door?
Well, no, he's there playing with the squeaky thing.
It's not a squeaky thing, it's a dead goblin.
It's a squishy thing.
It don't go squeak anymore.
And that's why he's upset.
He used to have a pet goblin, but he petted him too hard, and he don't squeak no more.
Yeah. So he wants to go find another one. So he's waiting for you to open the door. Meow. Meow.
I know what cats are like. If I open the door, he won't want to go through.
He'll just sit down and brush himself.
How's this
Aye.
about the cruelest way to give someone a Benny for roleplay?
Yay!
Right at the end of the session. Which I would say, Chelsea, if you're really canny about this, you want to spend a Benny and drop it on your PowerPoints right now.
Yeah, I wonder who thought of doing that.
And so does Goodfellas.
I did my last round. I go, oh, I'll spend Ben.
I have something here.
Okay, so the Goblin Cave. So the moss curtain parts to reveal a small cave with a low ceiling. Oh yes, in fact, actually, this is where we'll leave it. Goblin Cave. Interesting.
Treasure chest?
I can't see it. Can you see it?
I can't see it, but it says in the description that there is one between the pair of straw mats, apparently.
Do I have to, this is the thing. Do I have to put it up? There you go. This is the thing about the light layers. I have to move. Okay, so I have to make it visible and move it up on the layers. Sorry. For some,
Aye, so visible lights have to be up by higher up.
I'm just trying to work. Yeah, yeah. So the problem I have, the problem I have is the chests have to be above the dungeon level, but the dungeon level's the one with the line of sight. So what I actually need to do if I want to do clever stuff like this in future is I actually have to have a dedicated line of sight layer.
Yeah.
Rather, because otherwise the items. So what I have to do is I have to leave them turned off.
That's really weird.
So I have to have them turned off, but not visible, but above the well, it's layers, isn't it? And the whole dungeon is an image, so the chest has to be on top of the dungeon map, but the line of sight's attached. Yeah, but because these ones have got illuminations and stuff on them, they obviously if I've lit them, they show up through the line of sight because they're above the line of sight, which is really annoying. But anyway, so anyway. We shall leave it here, but as you can see, there's a battered treasure chest sitting. There's a pair of straw mats and a battered treasure chest sitting between them. Off to one side, a passageway leads to a pair of stone doors, and that is where we shall leave it.
We are in
I do know the lighting worked perfectly in 5e. It's the first time I put it on my player, so that's fit. You know.
I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying it does. But basically, when I've got multiple layers of lighting,
I know. I'm prepping a game at the middle, so I'll have to figure out what.
Because the point is there's some extra lighting and stuff because certain things you do turn lights on and off. Hence the fact I've tried to set it. You know what I mean? And things like that. I was trying to be really clever, but obviously it's winding me up. Right. We should leave it there. I shall reset
50 fathoms and nobody's got special. Okay. Nobody's got special abilities of 50 fathoms for lighting. So.
Someone is Goodfellow the only guy who can't see in the dark?
Yes.
I think so, yeah.
He's in trouble, poor chap.
Goodfellow.
By the way,
anyway,
the first thing that freaked my players out, by the way, is in order to see you have to put a light on, but everybody in the dungeon can see you right across the whole map. They can see you.
Yes.
Because you're lit up, you're carrying a light.
Well, exactly.
And that tactically changed the whole game.
Yeah, no, it's good. I don't have a problem with that. All right. Thank you very much. Right, so we got there in the end. I'll have a play around with the layers. And yes, so we shall continue with Black Fang's Dungeon next week. It was an idea to sort of.
Name.
Sorry, I didn't catch either.
Well, the locals were calling the thing killing the cattle Black Fang because a Black Fang was found in one of the dead cows.
Indeed.
I think I missed that. Okay.
And since Rannick's a local, he reckoned he knew where it might be. Because this place is renowned for getting full of monsters, getting cleared out, and then a year or two later getting full of monsters again. It's got goblins.
Brick it up. Why don't you just brick it up?
Well, last time I were here was about 4 years ago. I were only like 14. Any bugger's going to listen to a 14-year-old half-orc about bricking up a dungeon? I mean, really? Maybe, Dondrad, you know, with all of your priestly accoutrements and that, you've got the gravitas that maybe you should be our leader and you can be the one that makes suggestions to townsfolk about things. What do you reckon to that?
Well, I don't know about suggestions at then. I just tell them what to do when it needs to be done, whether they do it or not. I mean, they're only good. What can I say?
All those who think that Dondrad has just voted himself our leader, raise their hands.
Ooh! Can I raise my hand?
Aye.
I want to be the leader. I'd make a great leader.
Okay,
You
so
would
that's
be a great leader, but I'm not sure how much other people would listen to you, and that's kind of what we're trying to get people to do right now is listen.
aye.
And although you say some really fun and interesting stuff, people don't listen to you a lot.
But the hammer sharper than I am.
I don't want to be leader, but I don't think any is anyway else. So I think we should go with chaos for a while. Until character.
That's to say, then you might as well vote for Jalsa, right? If you're going with chaos.
I vote for the sprite.
Well, looks to me like Dondrad's got it. So, fearless leader, what do we do next?
No, you can't lead if we're not going to follow.
Mental note: let's brick this place up at a later date, but we'll have to get through the doors.
Aye.
Snookums is not going to pick
Someone better
that
get
up.
some light for me. I'm useless without light. I'm going to have to light up a torch.
Well, you're more than welcome to
Or we're
light
gonna
up
be
the torch.
Or we're going to handsy through this place.
I will light you a torch, which I will do when I know how to do it. Let's see if we do. If I just type torch, does that work? No.
Besides, we're all colourblind anyway, so until somebody puts a light on.
Right, let's
All right,
get...
friends. I'll see you next week.
No worries. There we are. There we are. We'll put a torch on good fella. So there you go. See you next week. Right! Let me see now. Saturday is Rippers. Isn't it? I shall have to come up with a... I will have to do an adventure for Rippers. I'll be doing that tomorrow. And then Sunday we'll see a sprawl running. I've got to do an adventure for that one. And then next Tuesday we'll continue back Fang's Dungeon, which is the player's introduction to Sandpoint and its local environments and getting friendly with some of the environments and everything else, which I was planning to sort of introduce in a little less hurried fashion, but you got through the other one. I'm not complaining, and that gives me a bit more time if I have a chance to try and have some fun and make a Rise of the Rune Lords video. But given that goblins are the bad guys,
Oh.
I think we need some goblin protagonists in the next one. So, well, thank you very much, guys.
Do you know what else you need?
What's that?
You need to send us some little one-liner scripts so that we can record character lines for the video.
Well, you can write your own. By all means, write your own and record them and send them over.
Well, Ranix will be something along the lines of "Get here, you bastard!" Unless you think that might be too much for your video.
Who knows? But anyway, I'm going to melt, so I'm going to go away shortly. But if there's any more questions or chat, please ask away. But I'm just about to go and melt somewhere.
Yeah, I got it.